I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually go, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A chow shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
To buy our merch indeed. Okay, dear listener.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a DJ stream.
Yes, sir, Bob.
DJ Ben is up on the list tonight, and he said, previous intro momentarily. I'm not going to paraphrase it. All right. So, what DJ Ben has to say to us all? Whoops.
This is, okay, so he's got a little breakdown. Sometimes, dear listener, the DJ of the night will give us some context for what they're doing, what their song selections are, etc., etc., etc.
True.
So, that's something that we're all going to be looking for. Here we go. Let me see. Shout out to the big homie Ben Bear.
There's your DJ for the night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir, Bobbert. Antimatter, Death of... Okay, is there like a
right
an
here.
intro thing?
Yeah, that was it. Click on there.
This one?
Yep. So he says, with the summer gone, I want to take the time to showcase some of the blistering new black metal that was released. Up first is Death of a King. All are equal, but some are more equal than others. This is a brand new band.
Give me a second. He's saying he can't hear. Where's our microphone?
Oh, it's by your feet.
So they were just hearing an echo then. Is this thing even plugged in?
Yeah. Oh, it's not. No, it is.
That's not a good sign.
It was literally just on, too.
Guys, that should be a lot better. Let me know if that solved the problem, dear listener. I think it will, but that's why we like the feedback. All right, keep going here.
All right.
Turn the volume up here. I think it should be better now, guys. I just adjusted the volume. Just type 22 if you guys can hear me. Keep going. Pretty sure the last thing I did.
I think it's up as high as it goes.
Yeah, the last thing I did is going to take care of it.
Yeah, wait.
There we go. Okay, so Ben just... Okay, we're at perfecto.
All right. Okay, let's go back to the Trello board.
So let's start again, dear listener.
Okay, so Ben is up as our DJ tonight. He's got a whole list of songs for us to listen to. His intro is With the Summer Gone. I wanted to take the time to showcase some of the blistering new black metal that was released. And the song that we are starting with is Death of a King. He says, all are equal, but some are more equal than others. Whoops, hold on. This is a brand new band, and this is an interestingly titled song from their debut album, Antimatter, which was released on July 11th, 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Fresh off the press.
All right.
Let's check them out. Antimatter, Death. No, actually, some are more equal than others.
That's the one. Put that.
Yeah.
He's got to start it at
Yeah.
what timestamp it was.
So timestamp is 2310.
I forgot it.
Timestamp is 2310. And I do have the lyrics for this one, guys, so stand by.
That is. I like that picture on the front of that album cover.
That's what it looked like outside yesterday.
Man. I missed
Yes,
the
sir.
whole thing.
Yes, sir, Robert.
Okay. So we have a full album here.
So
We're going to be starting.
Dwayne is acting like he can't hear sorry. So Ben, do me a favor, Ben Bear. Can you hear sorry okay, or is what's his face just trying to troll us? All right, here we go, guys. Antimatter. What is it? Some are more equal than others. Is that the name of the
No,
song?
I thought it was Death of a King.
Death of a King is the name of the record, but I'm pretty sure the name of the song is because it says the 2310 mark, and when I looked at the thing at the 2310 mark, it's called All Are Equal, but Some Are More Equal Than Others.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I missed that. All right.
All are equal, and some are more equal than others.
Honestly, I thought that was Ben's comment on all the black metal that got released over the summer.
Yeah, so did I. That was my idea, too.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Let's go. expect it to end. I was just
And
getting into that. Dun, dun,
that,
dun, dun, dun,
I
dun,
believe, is the end of song 1.
On the
Unless
album.
we this is an entire record. So Ben, is this the end of the song? Because if it's the end of the song, then we'll be good to go.
And then we're about to do the review. But it is true. Sometimes a song does that like pause.
Yeah, remember?
And then they go back in.
We had that. There was one that was like it completely stopped, and then like there was a 3-second gap, and then it went right.
Mm-hmm.
But the person said like wait till the end. There was a kick at the end or something like that.
Yeah.
So it gave us a clue.
Yeah. This
Okay.
is interesting because I am not sure. You were like, and I was still like, wait, what are we saying?
Well, that
When
line.
we talked about the ideologies,
all
yeah,
are
right
equal,
there.
but some are more equal than others. Obviously, came from Animal Farm
Right.
with the pig. You know, the whole Animal Farm was that like these animals and they were sentient.
Just trade baby, wear them all the time.
They were animals and they were sentient, and they they basically came together. They coalesced to overcome the man, and
Yeah.
the humans were basically the capitalists, and then the animals were basically the communists. So this pig, I forgot the pig's name, Johann.
I thought it was Comrade.
Johann.
For some reason.
What was the name of the pig in Animal Farm?
Napoleon, he's
Napoleon.
right.
So like Napoleon is basically Stalin, and he creates this communist revolution. Blah 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 blah. That all the animals can get can live equal like the farmhands. But then it's actually was one of the scariest moments in literature for me. Actually, was there was a scene where you look up and Napoleon the pig is dressed in human pants. And it was basically like a clear indication.
And he was standing up on his hind legs, right?
Yeah, he was standing up on his hind legs. It's clear indication like he is no longer one of them. Like, and then like he had a special place in the barn and all this shit. And it was like
they were living in the house. I thought the pigs were living in the house and everybody else was in the barn.
I think initially he was living up at the top of the barn or whatever, but then he moved into the house. But it was basically like, yeah, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Like finding a way to try to reconcile this obvious contradiction. And so that was the name of that was where the title of the song was derived from. And obviously, if you look, here's the last word. This is like Orwell's farm.
Right.
Like, I mean, he just came out
and said it.
Yeah, he just came out and said it.
But when he said, we thought that
among the stars we wouldn't bring our ideologies, at least not for a few hundred years, but I guess I was wrong. I think what he's talking about is, we've gone to the moon, which represents, our scientific, the movement of the culture towards a more science-based understanding than a faith-based understanding of reality. So what he's saying is, man, I figured since we've advanced so much that we would leave behind all this, religious nonsense. But here we are. Religion still, it doesn't matter where we go, we're still plagued with this idea. We're still plagued with people's ideologies.
I see. Okay.
Which by the end of the song, he just comes out and says, but there's something in human nature. I mean, it literally says it right there. So all the people that go after your brother for talking about original sin and talking about how all of us are born sinful.
Look, the homie here is recognizing it too.
It's funny because a person could say, well, why not use a term like flawed? People are born flawed. It's very interesting. One of the people always ask me, like, what's some of the most surprising things as when you've been introduced to the metal community or the black metal community, like what were you most surprised about? And one of the things that really fascinated me was the idea that the term sin itself is a bad term in the sense that if you use that term, you are automatically saying you are better than the other person. So if you say that was a sinful action, people say, oh,
that's how it's interpreted.
Yeah, but if you replace the word sin with flaw, or if you challenge a person and say, do you believe you're perfect? They'll say nobody's perfect. Well, if you say nobody's perfect, you just agreed with the doctrine of original sin. That's what the doctrine of original sin means. But I think
when somebody says nobody's perfect, it makes it sound like, well, nobody can be perfect, but you can be 98%.
Right.
Where if you say
Right,
everybody's
you're basically
a sinner,
good, and you have
yeah,
a
there's
little black
bit-
spot on
there's a
your
little
on your
there,
thing.
yeah. But
right.
the other way, it's like, okay, you were born bad, there was nothing, and now it's like almost this journey toward good.
Right.
And I think that's people don't want to think that about themselves.
Yeah.
Although it's easy to think that about the people you don't like. You're like, that person's bad, and they're cool.
Which is odd to me, like especially in the metal community, the idea that
I was thinking the same thing. I was
Um,
thinking saying a sinner or that you're a sinner seems like it would be like a badass metal thing. Like, yo, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's an odd kind of thing, but at the same time, it's like, yes, there is the aesthetic, like I'm a sinner, I'm a Satanist, blah blah, but they're not like that. They're not usually. It's just like rap. Like 90% of these dudes, like you do have bands like, you know, like when we were at the Behemoth show, like no bullshit, before the cameras dropped, we had media passes, so Sorry was able to see what they were doing backstage before the curtain came down, and Nergal was absolutely doing some sort of ritual or
I
something.
recorded it somewhere. I don't. if
Yeah,
you have
he
to-
was
yeah.
doing. Yeah,
You-
I know you recorded it. I was like, oh man, I'd like to post that, but I was
You
like,
think
nah,
that's- you're not
that was a
supposed
personal moment. That's kind of disrespectful to his religion, even if he was talking to Satan or whatever it was. Like, obviously, he did all that shit before the curtain dropped. It's supposed to be a quiet, sacred type of thing, so I didn't want to like,
Yeah.
mass produce it or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's true. That's true.
But like, it is an interesting concept, like the idea that the metal community would adopt satanic imagery, but then have a problem with being called sinful, which tells me that
That's
the satanic imagery and the anger at being called a sinner they're both coming from the same place emotionally, which is, I can't live up to your standards. I feel rejected by you, so I'm going to project that I'm all the way on the other side. But in reality, I'm really hurt by this idea that I'm not good enough and I haven't, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why I'm so comfortable. I've never been upset about the idea that I'm not good enough to get to heaven. That never upset me, because I was always like, well, yeah, I mean, I steal cookies and shit, like, obviously. You know, I would compare myself to my brothers, and like, I mean, you've been around my older brother, like,
yeah.
dude is like, he's Captain America, Captain Jamaica, whatever you want to say, like, you know, like
Yeah.
So I've always been the bad one, always. And suspended from school, I was the first one to do everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I never had a problem, because I grew up feeling that way. I grew up feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So, I don't know. But does it bother? Well, I mean, how do you take it?
You know my thing. Like, I always knew that. For the majority of my life, I don't know why I thought this. I thought that you could you could make it to like a place of perfection. Not that you would be like completely like a god, but that you're almost pretty much flawless. And I'm not going to go into why I thought that, but I did think that for the longest amount of time. And then actually, you were the one that probably first introduced me to the idea that that's not the case. I think I was probably
That
taught
what
it
wasn't
before.
the case?
Well, that you're not gonna, like, you can work on yourself as a person, and you can get yourself closer to being more of like the biblical ideal, I guess you could say, but you're never gonna rid yourself fully of that nature, like that who you are inside of you that wants to do things that are contrary to what's good for you. And wow, that's such a weird way of writing it.
What do you mean?
Writing it. I'm writing it in my head as I'm talking a little bit sometimes.
What do you mean?
So
Johan, the game's on.
you're
just
never gonna be. Yeah, he was a blowout. He already looked. Like, you're never gonna be a perfect person on this planet. Like, people are still gonna sin or make mistakes or screw up or whatever you want to say. Like, I think that's kind of part of how things go. Like, you kind of cycle through it. Like, maybe you get like better and better, and then all of a sudden you're like, that wasn't that good. Like, I think you can journey toward being a better person, but are you going to reach perfection? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and it's
But the idea of not being able to be perfect is something that's always like stressed me out my entire life, probably. Because when I was younger, I thought this is where I should be. And when you look at yourself honestly, you know you're not. Like, other people would look at me and they would be like, oh my gosh, Sori, she's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. Like, she doesn't do anything wrong. And
I heard about Sori at a Bible study before I met her, like years before I met her. Like, she was like a local celebrity due to her religion. I mean, I think there were other issues as far as why you were a local celebrity, but she was known. She was known as like the, you know, like the most serious, hardcore Christian. Like people were just. I'm at this Bible study and people just going on and on about this girl. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. But like, I never seen anything like that before. Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen it in the hood, you know, like somebody's talking about somebody, oh, this guy, woo, woo, woo. But like, I've never seen that in a Bible study before. People just going on and on and on. I was like, damn. Okay.
But the idea of not being able to be a perfect person, I'm not good with that. I don't like that. And I don't think I'll ever be good with that. Well, I hope that I am. I hope that at some point I can just be like, you know what?
You're not good with imperfection.
No, I'm not. No.
This line was crazy to me.
In myself, but if I see other people struggling with something, I'm like, well, give yourself a break. My gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, what line was crazy to you?
We are searching so long for ourselves that it is leading to our destruction. That was a very provocative line to me.
We are searching so long for ourselves, it's leading us to... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean to you?
Sorry, weren't you a Pentecostal or something? Perfectionism is common among charismatics.
Oh, is that true?
It's very true.
Yes, I was.
Especially the
Pentecostal,
holiness.
charismatic, yeah.
Especially the holiness streak within Pentecostalism, which I'm not even sure is actual Christianity. Like, that's how bad it is.
And like
the holiness stuff is pretty bad on the Pentecostal
side.
My
family was like, this is going to sound so horrible, but like, if there was like everybody in the church was like here, then there was like the random people that would like come in and leave. And then there was like my family was like up on this pedestal. So there was an expectation that was set and you had to live up to that expectation because I felt this pressure. Like my parents worked so hard to put out a certain image. Yeah. That, you know, I didn't want to be the one to screw it up for them. But people were always reporting stuff back to my parents. Oh, Sori's doing this, Sori's doing that. It was like having spies everywhere. It was really weird because of my dad's job. And so it's a small town. And I think that people were like, oh, their family's not as perfect because look at that. So
well, it's almost an act of survival to be able to be like, yo, your family has some problems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because,
but then there were other people that like when I started going through my divorce and they realized like, oh, it's that family and there's a divorce that's happening. Like, oh my gosh, people. It was really weird. Like some of the conversations that I would have with people because I could tell that they were like, please don't tell me any imperfections. There was a lot of people I obviously didn't talk to, but I remember one person specifically, and I knew that this person had my family on like the highest pedestal there was, and I was like, I have to friggin' crash that down. Like, I can't keep going. I can't keep living in this because that's not where it is. And then I started telling that person some of the stuff that had gone on with the situation, and they were like, I could tell that like the look in her eyes, she was like, please stop. She wanted my family. She wanted me up on that pedestal. But I was like, I can't be here. I can't be here. This is not real. It's not real.
It's tough, man. It's a very difficult, you know.
It was that was the girl that used to hate it when you take her candy.
Oh, homegirl.
Yeah, because her entire family was like, whoa,
we are searching so long for ourselves, we're leading to our destruction. That seems like an identity thing to me. Like, one of the things that's fascinating, like, there's this guy, he's a Christian apologist, and he's got, in my opinion...
Who are we talking about?
Seitan Bruggencate.
Okay.
In my opinion, Seitan Bruggencate has... The way he engages apologetics, he shuts down atheist epistemology in 4 seconds. And it's very effective as far as like, oh my God, there's this wide open gap in atheist epistemology. But it's one of those situations where, okay, where do you go from here? The conversation shut down. Now what do you do? So I never use the argument. But here's the argument. Could you be wrong about everything you claim to know?
Yeah.
Well, anybody, Yes, I could be wrong about everything I claim to know. Okay, so what mechanism do you use to verify whether or not your mind's interpretation of reality is correct? And whatever answer you give, it's going to be filtered through your mental processes apprehending reality. So if you say, I know what reality is because I have a sound mind, and then I say, how do I know you have a sound mind? And then whatever answer you give me is rooted in your mind, because a person could say, well, my mind is rational because I only believe peer-reviewed research, but you're only reviewing peer-reviewed research using your mind. So how do you know that that's accurate? Whatever you respond by, you're going to be in an infinite loop that cannot answer that question. So when Psy does that, the atheist gets stuck, and then they can't go anywhere, because it's not like a person's going to say, well, I just got put in an epistemic pretzel, I should become a Christian and devote myself to Jesus. Like, that's not going to happen.
Well, how come? Why not?
The answer, of course, is in order for you to have any real knowledge or any even confidence that you have knowledge, is that you have to get external revelation to tell you what reality is outside of your mind. Otherwise, you're just reasoning in a circle. Okay, well, that being the case, here's the argument. The argument is you can't even know what or who you are without another person informing you of that. In other words, let me say it this way. Let's do a thought experiment. Let's say that you were born on an island with no human beings on the island and no mirrors. And let's say that you're blind, so you have no way of seeing your own reflection in the whatever. Okay, so you're blind and you're deaf. But you're on this island, and all you've ever known is the island. You would not know that you were a human being. You wouldn't know what you are.
Right.
You would know that you exist, but you wouldn't know what you are. You wouldn't even know what your hair color is, your eye color is. You don't know anything. In order for you to know yourself, you have to have external stimuli to say back to you what you are. Okay? Well, then where did that come from, right? So that's why that line stuck to me. It's like we're so busy trying to find ourselves that we destroyed ourselves in the process, right? Because God has already told you what you are. You're in my image. You're loved, and you're crowned with glory and honor. And you say, man, that's all stupid. That's all fairy tales. Now I can't justify why the Holocaust is bad if that's not true. Somehow we can find a way to say that human beings still are valuable, even though, how does that work? But here's the point. The point is, in order for us to know the most basic things about ourselves, we have to have external sources of information to enlighten us about it. So my mom explained to me that I'm a boy, and that she's my mother, and that I have a brother. I define myself by the external messages about what I am. If I have to define myself for myself, then we're in a lot of trouble. And that's where we are right now. We got an entire nation of people that truly believe that they could just decide whatever the hell they are on a whim. And it doesn't matter what science, biology, anything says. It doesn't. I could just define who I am. And it breaks down society as we're seeing.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it's irrational. No, you don't get to define who and what you are. Somebody externally already defined that. And that's what's really at the core of a lot of our issues, man. A lot of our issues, especially in this country, is about us refusing to be or identify ourselves with what God has identified us with. And you still need some sort of identity in order to function rationally in the world. So once you've cut yourself off, and by the way, there's no upgrade that you can get from being an image bearer of God. It's not like there's a higher place in the created order. Okay, literally the scripture says that for a little while we're made lower than the gods or the angels. Okay, so it's not as if God is like, I'm going to make man, I'm going to make him out of dust, I'm going to crush him, I'm going to destroy his spirit. That the goal, the ultimate goal of salvation from a biblical worldview is not rescue from a fiery eternity. It's actually glorification is the technical term. The ultimate end of God's salvation plan with man is to bring man up as high as a created being can be exalted. That's why I've said a bunch of times, one of the reasons I don't care about the term nigger, none of this shit, I truly believe in my bone marrow I'm going to be ruling the universe with Jesus. What do I care if some scary dude from Alabama has a problem with black people? You can have America. You have this little third rock from the sun. You can have America. I'll be off in Alpha Centauri somewhere in a couple thousand years. Yeah. But like, or to Al's point, beatification, which is the ultimate joy of seeing the face of God, right? It's called the beatific vision. Blessed are the pure in heart, they will see the face of God. That's the point. And the thing is, again, that's still important, the face of God, because the face of your Father is another indicator of your identity. Okay? You know, when my kids are around me, like, they don't look exactly like me, but there's genetic markers. Yeah, that's one of Vince's kids. It's the same thing with you. So it was a very interesting song because it's true. We are destroying ourselves in this quest for an identity outside of the identity God has already given us. Mm-hmm. And listen, it doesn't matter what you people say or what people think or whatever the zeitgeist says. I'm telling you, anytime you go against the identity that God himself imposed on you, it's going to lead to destruction.
100%.
And I mean, the literal destruction sometimes of body parts, the psychological destruction, the societal destruction. There's a lot of destruction that goes into that idea that I am trying to eke out my own identity by myself. I'm not going to do even though my entire life, my entire identity has been determined by external sources, I now am going to decide for myself what the hell I am. And now this is all the chaos that we've seen in the world that we're in. So, you know, here we are. It's a brilliant song. It's a brilliant song because, like, this is one of those ones where it's like explaining to us it's the human nature, and I love that. And he didn't really talk about religion per se. He said ideologies.
Yeah, he did.
So I'm just, you know, imposing that on the
for me, when I heard that part, I was thinking more about you know, like when people are on a quest to kind of find themselves and they're like looking internally at themselves and trying to dig in there and being like, what's inside myself? And you could almost, it's weird because I think that it's necessary to look at it yourself and see, like, who are you? What are the things that you need to work on? Mm-hmm. But I do think, and I haven't fully defined it in my head, so I can't really say it well, but there's a line that when you cross it over, you're now drowning in yourself. Mm-hmm. And you can't be at that place. It's okay to look back at yourself, and you know, I think it's been said before, like, you know, like, look into the dark abyss of your soul, but basically be sure that abyss doesn't consume you. Yeah. More or less. Like, I know Nietzsche. It's a paraphrase.
No, beware of staring into the abyss because the abyss might stare back at you or something.
Yeah. So that concept or that idea, and that's what it made me think of, like in that song. But I thought the song was great. I mean, you guys know I'm not like a big giant black metal fan, but this one, I'm
not a fan of the production on this one.
Yeah.
What I will say though is that the main sort of riff sounded like a wall of sound, like literally, like it just sounded like a wall. Like that was what was in my head was like a wall, which people say it all the time, but this guy pulled it off. Ever since we saw that art thing that we watched with Johan, I've been like, yo, what specific thing did that guy? Because now I'm like, I want to replicate that exact sound, like, because there was this art thing and like people were like, it was three colors, it was blue. Most of it was red and then yellow. And then people were like, oh my gosh, blue, red, and yellow. Who cares? Who can't do that? Blah, blah, blah. It's just such a simple
big, giant canvas the size of, like, bigger than the wall we're up against.
For sure.
Now. It was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. But somebody ended up destroying it, and then they had to remake it, and they could not, like, everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's just a red canvas. But when they tried to recreate it, the depth of color and the variations and the textures and stuff that he put in his art, they could not recreate.
Right. And so that has a lot of implications as well. I like the wall of sound. I agree with you. This is not the generation of black metal that this seems more like first, second wave type black metal. So it's not necessarily my favorite type of black metal, but I thought that those lyrics, especially that quote that they had about destroying ourselves, trying to create our own identities, like I thought that was super insightful to human nature.
And it had some heaviness to it, like the way that they Like the riff, especially like right before the song ended, I was like really vibing with that riff.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody, good evening, ma'am, sir. I found your channel through one of my good friends, Davey. One of the best reactional channels I've come across. We appreciate you.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Davey.
What'd you get the song?
I gave this one an 8.3.
I give this one a 7.4. 7.4.
Okay.
All right, dear listener, DJ Ben is
We'll
just
be right
beginning.
back.
We shall return with another banger for you, dear listener. Here, Ben says the song was a straight 8 out of 10 for me. Actually, it's good. I knew it would be a good discussion starter for Vin and Sawyer with a provocative title. Antidote to Chaos is a killer track from this album.
Boom, that was your DJ.
That's your
and
DJ
gentlemen.
letting you know. We'll see you on the other side of the break. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that
can
off.
also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee,
Can't
a
guarantee
positive
you a
review.
positive review.
Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Buy merch indeed. A child shall lead them. My partner in crime is on the side making tea, so I think we can do a quick Ask Me Anything. Somebody had one question for me. I will answer it while we wait. I'm watching Mr. Johan do the quarterback sneak thing on Madden. Who gets the ball in the first half? Second half?
It's already the second half.
Oh, okay. Game's over. You taking up the whole third quarter? Good for you.
No, but this guy's really bad.
By the way, Perkinos, out of curiosity, are you a Christian? Yeah, we'd like to know. We'd like to know, Perk. Vin, do you wear socks? Yes. I actually have a thing about socks. Like, yeah. The only time I don't wear socks is when they get wet on the ground. Gross. Do you let your kids play Mortal Kombat? I don't have Mortal Kombat. I would let the older kids play. Obviously, I wouldn't let the babies play Mortal Kombat, but yeah. Hey, Middle Earth in the house. What's the abyss to you, Vin? I think I've had a hard time reconciling with the fact that missing something by like an inch can completely change the trajectory of the life of people that you were supposed to come through for. So you gotta deal with that. So that's the abyss for me. All right.
That's intense. That's deep.
All right, guys, here we go. Song number 2. Song number 2.
Song number 2 for DJ Ben. All right, if you can pull up.
Who is your favorite? Hold on, there's a Mortal Kombat question. Who is your favorite Mortal Kombat character? I was always partial to Reptile, mainly because he was exactly the same as Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but green. Sub-Zero is my ultimate favorite video game character of all time. Ryu, I love Ryu from Street Fighter. I love the, but to me, because I was always into martial arts, like before UFC, if you were into martial arts, the ninja was like the pinnacle of the martial artist. So Sub-Zero was a ninja. His name was Sub-Zero, which I just think is the baddest name ever of all time. And it worked because he threw ice and stuff on there. Scorpion's a great name too. Great beef between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Isn't that who you were talking about when I had my blue pants?
Yeah, the Sub-Zero pants, yeah.
I came back with these pants. I thought they were the greatest thing. Vin was like, those remind me of Sub-Zero.
The way that the Sub-Zero, it was just so epic. I'm like, what the hell? We were on one of our, things that we did when we were younger. And, we were in some random city. I didn't know where we were in the middle of a school night. And all these people are around this arcade thing. And then sure enough, it's Mortal Kombat. I was blown away.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't believe it. The blood.
Wait, that was the first time you saw
Somebody
that?
got their head chopped off. I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. Yes. I became obsessed after that. My mom was like, she took us in. We are never allowing Mortal Kombat. It's demonic, blah, blah,
Good
blah,
for
blah,
her.
blah. Anyway.
Good for her.
We completely violated the rules and did it anyway. All right, here we go. Song number 2.
All right.
Sworn, a godless domain.
Next are 2 songs from Sworn's new album, A Journey Told Through Fire.
Oh.
A superb melodic black metal release that came out June 21st, 2023.
Okay, here we go. DJ Ben Bear. Ben Bear. Sworn is the band. Do you know which one it is?
If you hover, it should be this one. No, this one.
Yep. Sworn, A Journey Told Through Fire. Okay, so these 2. So then we're not going to do the commercial then.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
This
You have
again,
the timestamp?
This again, Peter. Sworn. It's the opening track on the record. It's the opening track on the record.
All
Okay.
right.
All right,
go.
perfect. Hey, do me a favor though, Ben. What's the cutoff point for the song? Do you know? All right, here we go.
Put it in the comment section there.
Sworn is the name of the band, and the name of the track is A Godless Domain. A Godless Domain. Here we go. Get these lyrics. Spooky.
Come, Inferno, come. Bring your dread sorrows and flames to drain what strength in me remains, and I shall recall my journey told through fire.
Interesting. Mare Nostrum means our city.
Pretty. Wow.
Okay, so we're still live, guys. The song's still going.
Wow.
Oh, I'm feeling it so hard right now, bro.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's it right there. Damn. Happy anniversary, bitch! Oh, man. There it is, dear listener.
Wow.
That song is hard. That song is hard.
Oh my gosh, we have two of these.
What
We
happened?
have two of these songs back to back.
Yeah.
So we get another one from this.
I don't think we're. Yeah, after we do this review, we're not
Yeah.
supposed to.
No,
do
oh,
the
I said
review
back.
and then we're.
I meant
And I
back.
don't think
Yeah.
we put them back to back either.
No, but what I mean is we get two songs from this song, this band.
Oh,
back
from this
to
band.
back.
Yes,
Yeah, and
yes.
I'm excited about it.
Yes. First of all, this is the black metal that I love. Yeah, I talked about like
I
the generation of.
Really
I talked
like
about
this
the
one
generation
too.
of black
Yeah,
metal.
you said the last one was.
Yeah, the
Generation
last one was like 1 or
And what
generation 1 or
generation
2.
do you think
This
this
is
one is?
be, I think, more modern because it's more.
How many generations are there?
I don't know. I'm not a black metal expert,
the-
but like
that one was the first
the
generation.
longer-
This is the last.
yeah, well, yeah, it was the longer the production quality, you know, as black metal progressed.
Mhm.
I mean, you get to the point where some of these guys are playing with symphonies, and in my mind, it's almost a different genre at that point if you compare it to like early death or whatever. But this is just what people told us. I mean, I don't know what the hell black metal is, but this is my kind of the production. Like, there's a lot more effort, and again, I don't want to say there's more effort on the production side because a lot of those guys like have the bad production as part of the sound. So you know, you can't say it that way. But this is kind of like the sweet spot for me, black metal wise. Like, it's not too produced. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't sound like, you know, two kids in a basement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't like it when it sounds like two kids in a basement like that. Sounds like trash. You can't really hear. It's hard to make out. But this one was really good. This one's really good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, could we try something different and just when we're doing the review, just put up, just instead of us seeing the screen within the screen, just pull up the lyrics so I can just see the lyrics.
I see what you're saying.
Amazing.
Sworn a godless domain. Here we go, guys. So, sonically, the song was freaking incredible. Obviously,
Yeah.
the song was freaking incredible from a sonic perspective.
Yeah, and it felt like it just kept getting better and better and better.
Yeah, and that little interlude, and then when they blew up after the interlude, like, again,
Oh my
like,
gosh.
it was incredible. They did a damn good job. Really, really good job.
Come, Inferno, come, bring your dread sorrows and flames, to drain what strength in me remains, and I shall recall my journey told through fire. I just love the way this person writes.
Yeah, it looked like that was a quotation from some, like, Shakespearean sonnet or something like that, but I don't think so. It looks like it's like their...
Well, there's a compliment.
Their own...
He thought your words were Shakespeare's.
Yeah, I thought I was like sure that he was quoting like Macbeth.
That has never happened on the channel before.
Well,
where you were like, this might be Shakespeare.
Yeah, like Macbeth I thought it was like a Macbeth Hamlet type situation. I didn't know that it was like his.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, okay. So he's talking about the Inferno. He's telling the Inferno to take him before he dies. He's going to tell everybody his journey told through fire. It looks like.
Okay.
Is the situation. Come, Inferno, come, bring your dead sorrows and flames to drain what strength in me remains, which would be his death, and I shall recall my journey told through fire. So he's saying he's dying by fire, but his entire life was a journey
through fire.
Told through fire, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know, it's the lot in life of all of the sons and daughters of Adam.
So is he saying he lived his life with like this burning fire that tormented him, and then he's calling that fire to end his life? Or when he calls that fire that's to end his life, is he actually calling death, and is he saying he felt death throughout his entire life?
Yeah, I think he's...
Or do you think he's saying something else?
I think both are... I think he's saying that he's accepted the fact that he's going to die. He's went through all the various stages of whatever you go through when you're dying or you hear you're going to die. And, like, he's ready to go, but he wants to tell his story before he pieces out of here. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
That's always a interesting concept to me. Being a person, like, a lot of our life was consumed with life, being in the pro-life movement, and putting yourself out there to make sure that people have a chance to live. But at the same time, it's like, you have to prepare for death. And you have to, you know, like, you spend so much time trying to keep people alive. Obviously, is what we're doing, and that's good. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but we live in a world where death actually happens. And so, like, how does that work? How do you prepare for it? That type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, when people say, I think it's somewhere in between. I think there has to be, you have to know that your death is coming, and you have to prepare for that, and prepare for what's coming after. Simultaneously, you shouldn't live your life as though death is is like the next thing. So there is a middle, you know?
No, that
like,
makes...
death is coming, but don't lose your life in the fact that your death is coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And, you know, this guy... But one of the things I think about is, like, how people get to that point. Because I've seen... You know, unfortunately, you know, I've been around people when they're dying, and some people are very afraid, and then other people are, you know, like, they're true believers, man, and they felt like
true believers in what?
Whatever
in their cause,
motivated,
or their religion,
whatever got them to that situation where they're, you know, where they're taking their last moments or whatnot, and there's one situation with a dude where, like he looked away, and it was like the weirdest thing, because it was like he was talking to me. He was like, "Don't look at me." It's the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. It was just weird, man. He was, you know.
He didn't want you to see him in that weakness?
I don't know what it was. It just felt like it was a personal moment. He was having his time with his creator or whatever. And it's like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was a weird...
So years ago, there was, maybe it wasn't years ago, there was somebody that had died. And you were like, you basically said, like, that's a holy moment and we shouldn't be peering in on someone's death like that.
Yeah.
Is that where you got that from?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Like, you know. It was,
see, when you said that originally, I was like, yeah. But then when you just explained it like that, I could see that. I could see your last moments. You're like having your moments with God, and then somebody's like looking at you, like almost like you're crossing over to another realm, but that their eyes are keeping you here.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. You know, it was just like it's like I heard, you know, his voice in my head. It's kind of weird.
Oh, he didn't say it out loud?
Nah, he was not in a situation where he could talk. You know.
Right.
It was, but it sounded clear as day. And it was like it's like you walked in on somebody and like, you know.
Yeah.
Intimate moment with her, whatever.
Wow.
But,
wow.
But it's hard to have those conversations with your friends, you know, because it's like, you're like, see, like, that was okay. Because you always ask me if I'm ever embarrassed or ashamed of something. Like that was a moment where I felt like embarrassed or whatever.
Because you had been looking instead of turning.
When I heard like, "Don't look at me."
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny when you originally told the story, I felt extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When you said that.
Yeah, it's very, very fucking uncomfortable. So, yeah, man, that shit is, you know, I don't know. It's a weird moment. You know, it's a weird moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it you know, if you're in certain cultures, there's certain things that get celebrated in those cultures that in the normal world obviously is not going to get celebrated. So it's hard because like people celebrating, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you're saying that you celebrated to the point of their death. Is that what you're saying? Because you celebrated all of their accomplishments.
Well, they're celebrating. I mean, it's celebrating. I mean, oh, this was a bad guy. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, and then you're like, well, it's a lot of shit to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? Like watching the dude, like, it's just a lot of shit that's hard to kind of reconcile. Like, why do you feel bad about that? Wouldn't you feel worse about putting the guy in a situation in the first place? But you don't because, you know, whatever. So, I don't know. It was just a very, very interesting song. It's a very, very interesting song.
Yeah, like it.
I just accept that there's shit that you're just not going to figure out on this planet, man.
And you're saying that in reference?
There's a lot of shit I'm not going to be able to figure out on this planet. Dude.
Oh. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but if you're like, if this world is like types and shadows and metaphors of what's to come, or the truth or the real, then there are some things that are absolutely missed in metaphors. So even though we're seeing the real, if the real is a metaphor, that you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe that's too much to say on the channel because there's a lot of different ideas that are coming into that one sentence. That.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. When they killed Pilly is Applejack's brother. Rest in peace to the homie. I had a dream that he ran from me and I couldn't catch up to him. I was in the hospital with my son when he was killed.
What? You had a son too?
Ooh, No, he was in Applejack was in the hospital with his son when he got the word that his brother died.
Oh God! Your son was being born? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
Apple, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, you have to deal with it. You have to deal with death. It's the destiny of every man, the scripture says. So you have to reconcile with it. You know, displeasure, mouth of vermin, a gaping flame of hatred, presumptuous insolence, righteous ignorance. these people, they're stepping. It's really interesting to me because in the hip hop community
Funny,
right
the way
now,
you read it sounded like it was going to be a rap.
the hip hop community right now, in my view, the lyrical complexity is decreasing.
In the metal community.
But in the metal community,
specifically the black metal,
it is increasing.
It is increasing.
It is increasing. Yeah, I mean, Behemoth, like you almost have to have like a minor in religion to really understand what the hell Nergal's talking about most of the time. B is wide open. So, you know, that is what that is. My son was born 13th of April. My brother was killed 15th of April. My son had complications. He's autistic. We stayed in the hospital for a week. Cold like Minnesota. That's true what you're saying about 1 Corinthians 15, 55 through 58, Buck, but I don't think this guy was on the team. So I don't know.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't know if he was on the team, but you had that voice that said, "Look away from me," and that moment might have been when he got on the team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see in a few short years, I guess. But sorry about your brother, Applejack. Kings and queens fall, moonshine kingdom prevail, the arrow of nothingness pierces their holiness. That's a very brilliant way of saying no matter how religious you are, you're going to die, bro. You're going to get sucked into the nihilistic void. See, right there, the arrow of nothingness pierces their holiness. Brilliant line. Your religion is not going to save you from the impending nothingness that's going to affect you when you die. That's the argument. Of course, I don't believe that argument, and that's an unscientific thing to say. You don't know. Look, the most you can say as an atheist, secularist, whatever you want to call it, is that you don't know what happens after you die. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't know if it's true that matter is not fundamental, and we know that matter is not fundamental, then that means that
based
consciousness...
on the scientific discoveries as of late.
Well, yeah, I had a conversation with somebody, and they accused me of using a word salad for talking about the death of local realism.
Oh, because they weren't familiar with what...
Of course, they were not familiar with it, so then I showed them an article from Scientific American, and
Yeah.
she goes, oh, I knew that one already.
Okay.
Which is obviously a lie.
Yeah.
But I said, oh, okay, cool, so how do you feel about...
Yeah.
So what's fundamental then?
Yeah.
If matter is not fundamental, in other words, if reality did not begin with matter, then the only option we have is that reality began with consciousness. Mm-hmm. And so, that being the case, that obviously has massive implications. But when he's talking about the arrow of nothingness, he's assuming that when a person's physical body dies, that their consciousness evaporates with it, because they're making the unscientific claim that the brain generates consciousness, which is impossible to prove because it's not true.
Right.
Brain does not generate consciousness. The
Right.
brain is more likely a tuning mechanism or an antenna for us to discriminate and differentiate information so as to function on this platform. But no, it doesn't generate our minds. Shout out to Sam Harris, though.
Well, I thought it was interesting because over here it says the arrow of nothingness pierced their holiness.
Yeah.
And then it says the sky is painted black, the venomous spear impale, the mouth of inferno exhale.
Mm-hmm. So what
But
you
he
saying?
was calling the fire to himself to die, and now he's talking about piercing the inferno, piercing the fire. Am I...
Where is he saying he's
Or am I, like,
piercing?
literalizing
Where is he saying
it?
he's piercing the fire?
Well, I got that from... because he says
No,
the
he
sky
might
is
be saying
the
that.
venomous spear impale, the mouth of inferno exhale.
Right.
So it sounded like the venomous spear impaled the mouth of the inferno exhale. So it sounds like the fire was coming to him and he impaled it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But
Yeah,
what
I
do you
just
read from that?
interpreted the venomous spear impale to be talking about his impending death, and might be an allusion to Christ because of the spear that was in Christ's side.
Mouth
when
of
he got
inferno
sad.
exhale? What about that?
When the mouth of an inferno exhales, then fire is going to come out. It's a way of saying, like a fire breathing dragon or whatever. That the inferno gets personalized as when it exhales, the fire comes out.
Right,
So-
but why is it exhaling? It's exhaling because it got hit with a venomous spear, right?
Oh, that's
That
what you
impaled
think?
it.
Oh, I didn't look at it that way, but sure.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
asking
mean,
you how you looked at it.
No, I just looked at that as more of a, because he's saying the sky is painted black. I think he's just setting the scene. I don't think that the sky is painted black because of the venomous spear or because of the mouth of the inferno. And then, if you literalize it, how can you have an inferno happening with a black sky? See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not literalizing.
Well,
I'm just taking those three selections.
I've been a Pentecostal all my life. We did that. We always did that. Hell was
Did
a
what?
place of utter darkness, but it was also the flame that never goes out.
Yeah.
So I have a whole spot for that in my mind.
Yeah, burning symbols, crying in vain, fatherless inferno, a godless domain. It just looks to me like he's saying that the grave is a godless domain, where Christians believe or religious people believe that the grave is almost like going to become the meeting place between you and God or whatever, because that's a transitional moment to the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at it like, nah, man, like, there's no God down there. It's a godless domain, because there is no God. When you die, it's over with. So that's
Wow.
kind of the idea.
I love the song. I love his writing style. It's interesting because black metal doesn't really very often like kind of pull me in. This one definitely drew me in, and I liked it. I definitely like, if you compare this song with the last one, I probably would have lowered the score of the other one because this one I liked so much. But I guess I'll just raise this one. I'm going to give this one a solid 9.1.
This one was a 9.5. I really loved especially the second half of the music. Everybody knows how I am with the tremolo picking. Yeah, Magua is the only band that can get away with tremolo picking for the entire song, and I'm like, yes. You got to choose your spots for me. Usually it's in the chorus because it got the life. But aside from that, like, this was just a really, really, really good song. Shout out to Middle Earth. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Middle Earth?
All
right,
shout
guys.
Out, we gotta say, shout out to the big homie Mark Buckle. Mark is the essence of when you talk about an OG, like people who are with us from the beginning, people who worked with us. Mark was like the guy at the very, very beginning.
Yep.
So shout out to the big homie Mark. It's his wedding anniversary or something. I saw something today. Him and his girl put that up there. So shout out to them.
Congratulations. Or whatever it is.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We shall return on the other side of the break, dear listener. We've got more coming for you. And another Sworn song is on the way. I don't know if it's the very next one, but there is another Sworn song on the way. So if you are a Sworn fan, stay where you are. As for us, we shall return after the end of the commercial break. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Fire merch.
Junior did that shit.
Yep, good. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he shut that mother. I'd have shot that dude though, for real. You gonna do that to him? You gonna fucking kidnap a woman? He lucky that he caught him and not me, bro.
Yep.
He's such a good dude. That's what I'm saying. I love dude. I mean, in commercial.
Are you joking?
Yeah. What? Why didn't you fucking tell me, dude? Just tell me this. Yo! All right. Song number... Was it 4?
I thought it was song 3, no?
Hold on, let me check here, because we just got done Sworn.
Yeah, so we're on to Sworn Calamity.
Calamity C!
Wait, actually, you never read... Did you click on that? We never read... Click on this, please.
What, Godless Domain? Yeah, we did read it. Except the next two songs are
okay,
Black
good.
Album Release.
Yep, we are on
Okay.
to the next.
The next song is Calamity C, dear listener. Don't listen to Sori and her disinformation. By the way, speaking of misinformation, you guys should watch, there's a movie called Mirage Men. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's do it. Song number 4. Oh, actually, hold on. We got to read the thing first. Nope, there's nothing else. Calamity C by Sworn. Let's do this shit.
Do you have the timestamp?
Is there another timestamp?
You should click it up. Yeah, because it was the full album, the same one that we had on before.
That's right. That's true.
Nope, I guess not.
No, that's this.
Okay.
Good Lord. Get behind me.
I must have made
All
a
right, here we
mistake
go.
somewhere.
Calamity C. Sworn. Let's do it. Song number 3. Sorry, guys. Vinny can't count.
Shout out to DJ Ben.
Little folky. Wait. Everybody's telling me to stop.
Wait, why?
Why is everybody telling me to stop?
Ben says this. Look, scroll down. Go to what Ben says.
He's saying wrong song.
This is
song 5 of the street. That's not the right song.
Do you want me to look? Because it's...
Oh, I think it's that one, actually.
Right there.
It's this one.
It is.
Okay. Let's try it. All right. Swan.
Can't wait for that one, though.
Calamity C. Here we are.
Song 5.
working. That lead guitarist is working. Listen for it. Oh, nice solo. Nice solo.
Yeah.
This song sounds like a soundtrack for the new John Wick. I could definitely see that for sure. For sure, for sure. All right, guys, that was Sworn. I don't know, guys.
Calamity was the name of the song, right?
Calamity C.
Calamity C.
Calamity C. Yeah, like this band.
They're
Here's the thing,
new
Magua, where are they at? Like Patoshka, but Magua, like where are my bands at? Are they putting out new music? I'm not. Look, these guys don't sound like Patushka and Magua. They got their own thing going on, but
they do. They do.
I'm gonna have to say,
you like them, right?
Huh?
And you like them.
What, this band?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
More?
They're my favorite black metal band of 2023.
Okay, I'm very
We've done
excited.
like 3 or 4 of their songs this year, and every single one. I don't know if it's this record, like he just struck gold on this record.
Could be.
But this band is killing shit right now.
I mean, I love it when there's a band that you end up finding that you like, and it just so happens I like them as well.
Yeah.
Because then the shared playlists, you know, we're about to take
He led the team. That's why the guy's still alive to this day.
Yep.
That's me. Okay.
So whenever you like a song and I like it too, I'm always like, yes, okay.
Oh shit! This is Middle Earth's album of the year.
Oh yeah, okay, I
Wow.
can see that. I can see that.
Okay.
Okay, so
I mean, whoever you are, or if you're in this band, shout out to you because it's consistency. Anybody can get lucky. See what I'm saying? Anybody can get lucky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But this right here.
Yeah. Okay. Are we talking about there was like a calamity, like there's like the world explodes, the guy is in a submarine, I'm guessing, or something, because it says that he was looking
Submarine?
through. It said he was looking through
His dim with celestial
his
lights.
world, this ocean, he sees a crimson realm through a rusted, ash-stained porthole.
All
so
things
I thought it
fade
was
away.
like, yeah, everything's so he's looking in like this portal as everything's just like coming, and he's in the ocean.
I wonder if this was the whole submersible thing, because this is a brand new record. Remember the whole submersible with
Yeah,
the
I know,
submarine?
but they keep talking about well, I mean, maybe, but
that
when
that
they
was
talk
one of
about
the
that,
worst
I don't think
stories of the
fire.
year for me.
I don't think fire when they talk about that. I think
Right.
because this is talking about, like, you see those movies where like something explodes and then the water like has the oil on it, so the water's
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
So like I'm picturing like a scene like that, stuff's falling from the sky and stuff, and then that's why he says like the ash portal. Like I thought it was just that there was like stuff
Well, it
was
says
burning.
porthole.
Porthole. Yeah, I'm saying it wrong.
Ash-stained porthole.
I didn't think portal. I thought porthole. That's why I got the idea that it was a submarine.
Like yeah. No, you're right. You're right for sure.
And then he says, lost down amongst the fiery dead. So I think he's going down also, but he's not going to survive. He's going to stay down there because he ends up at the end talking. Almost seems like he's talking to the gods and being like, yo, this is how it's going to end, though. Like, that's what I got from when he, like,
Trust in me, a dismal squall.
my knowledge shall be lost. My descendants will be corrupt. My legacy all destroyed in the wildfire.
In the wildfire, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was bad. So it was over for.
Mm-hmm. So what did you get?
His world is the ocean. He sees a crimson. So his submarine or whatever.
I really liked having the lyrics on my side. Just so you know, that was
yeah.
really good.
His submarine or whatever blew up or whatever. He's in the water somehow,
yeah,
right?
But the thing is, I don't think it was his submarine that blew
submarine, watching too much news, visions of the Titanic submersible. This came around about that time, so they wouldn't have written about the event because it would have been written before the event happened. But definitely an unfortunate coincidence for sure.
Yeah, but it talks about him I don't think that it's just his thing because it looks like he's still okay because he's looking through the hole in the submersible or something. But he's going down. Well, no, I think that he's not in the condition. Everybody else is like dying, and I think he's going to be temporarily okay. But he's also in trouble. And obviously, by the end of the song, he's finding out that he's going to be dying.
Lost down among the fiery dead, the currents force him further. He's cursed in the depths, a realm of forgotten wrecks.
I don't think he's dead yet. The currents are pushing him, and he's going down where the other dead have gone.
Well, yeah. When I say he's dead, what I mean is like. It's a guarantee that he's dead.
100%.
Like
right.
It's over with for him.
Yeah.
Like you can't take so many risks and think you're going to be okay. It's like if you're playing Madden and you have the Buffalo Bills and you just run with the quarterback because he's a mobile quarterback, dudes are going to hit you.
Yeah.
You're going to fumble the ball.
Right.
Like it's going to happen.
Right.
You can't do that shit. Even if you're winning, like fucking throw an outlet pass, run out of bounds, throw the shit away. You run around with Josh Allen, you take those risks, you're going to fumble the ball and lose the game. It's the same shit. Like, you can't keep doing all this, like, death-defying shit and think, oh, yeah, it's fine. It didn't happen to me before, so everything's going to be okay. Hell no, it's not.
Yeah, well, that's what the homie thought that we were watching the other night. He started thinking himself like he was a god.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then somebody educated him really quickly that he wasn't God.
Oh, really? He's still alive?
Huh?
He's not alive anymore?
Oh, the black dude?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got shut up a bunch of times.
But he still thought he was some kind of
Teflon God. He's still out there talking shit. Yeah. That's a weird. That guy's a weird situation, man. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Ben. So seriously, I saw that it was your stream. I was like, yes, Ben always picks songs that I like. And then I went in there and I saw that it was a whole black metal stream. I was like, wait, what happened here? What happened to Ben? But then as these songs are coming out, I'm like, okay, all right, I see. They're the black metal that I think is. I would say tolerable, but I think it's better than tolerable. I'm enjoying these.
Yeah.
Ben, sometimes when you're in a dreadful situation, you can find serenity.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I've been like realizing like how much struggle in my life is due to the fact that I want to control everything. And when something is outside of my control, it just drives me insane. And I've been trying to get to that place where I'm like resting. And I think that like when you're saying like you get to the point of acceptance where you're like, okay, I'm going to die, and you just like accept it and that feeling that goes along with it. I think that it's like that in life too. Like there are situations that are outside of your control. Absolutely, we have things in our control that we can do to make life better, to make life easier. But there are some things that are beyond your control, and when those things happen, like I don't know, like accepting those. Hunter saying you had the same thought. So yeah, so I agree with that. I think that you can find serenity when you're in a dreadful situation. I mean, the Bible talks about finding contentment. This is the craziest thing. So it talks about being content when you don't have what you need, but then also when you have everything that you need. And I was like, yo, that's true. Like there is a sense of contentment and acceptance that is required on both sides of it for you to be a tolerable person. Like, anyway, I'm going off the rails here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the first time.
Oh, you too, Hunter? I hate it when I get like
I
that.
think it was the Titanic.
Yeah.
And Titanic was the first, like, I don't know if it was Titanic or if it was the Challenger situation with the space shuttle.
Oh, shoot. The Challenger was the one that went down in January, right?
No. This
They
happened
took
in
off
the 80s.
in January.
This is like
Yeah, in the 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
But
What'd you
the
say?
month of January.
I don't remember. I don't even think I was in the
It was-
country when
it
the
was
Challenger
close to-
situation happened.
I was born
I just
in January,
remember
so I
going
remember
to
that.
elementary school in Florida, and obviously Florida, Cape Canaveral, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And at the time, like, all of our little schools were named after, you know, there was Kristen McCullough. Kristen McCullough was one of the women. She was like one of the, I think she ended up being the first lesbian, you know, that went to space or whatever, or that was gonna go to space. She was the first lesbian that
They announced it
but
like
she
that?
she hadn't been out. Like her, that came like 15 years ago.
I was like, that is
No, I
really
just thought it was important
weird.
because it was like this person, and like she was enabled to. She did this incredible thing, and she went out in this horrible way. But like it's just weird to me that people were like still in the closet. Like our culture was like, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
fine.
Like I don't know how to explain it, but I just wanted to give her props or whatever. But yeah, when I heard that, and then like people were talking about a Punky Brewster because they covered it in the show. So Punky Brewster, you know what Punky
I know
Brewster is?
Punky
I used to love her. I think
Me too.
I didn't even have a crush on her. I just wanted to be her friend, literally.
Me too. I just love the way that she did her clothes and her hair. It
Yeah,
was
because
so
she was kind of
abstract.
tomboyish.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
she'd always have something like tied around her leg or the mismatch or whatever.
And they covered it in the show, and I mean, she was all excited. She's going to see the launch, and then she comes home from school, and she's crying. I mean, she was really crying, obviously. All of us were. And I just remember, like, then I have an obsessive personality. I became obsessed with it. Then I became obsessed with the Titanic. Like, the doom aspect of it, and like you're seeing somebody smiling happy, and they're walking into a situation and they're gonna die and they have no idea. Like, it's always been like for me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always been troubling to me that people
that is so interesting.
are in those circumstances. And I don't know if it was because
I always think the opposite.
What?
I'm like, oh good, they were happy that it was over, you know? It's not like, you know, knowing, like, to me, like somebody knowing that they're going to die and it drags out and then they're upset. Like they were happy all the way up to the last, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden it exploded, and
yeah.
so they had 2 minutes of being, I don't know how many minutes it was. I remember hearing, if we're talking about the same one, there was some people that were leading a Bible study, and they had a copy of that tape, and they played it at the Bible study, you know, basically like the...
Sorry. The lesbian was Sally Ride. I think it was Sally Ride was the lesbian one.
But
She
if that
died
says-
in 2013, I think. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. I thought you said that the thing exploded with her in it.
No, Kristen
what's happening?
Kristen
What are
McCullough is a different. Don't worry about it. That's just me with the. Go ahead. Continue. Say what you're going to say.
I was gonna say that they played that, like, if it's the same one, they played the tape from the last few minutes of what they heard.
The Challenger disaster?
Yeah. I thought it was the Voyager or the Challenger.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was just, it was horrible. It was a horrible. Because I always think to myself, what were they thinking? Did they call to God?
I mean, the one that I heard, you heard everything. Like, you heard some people just freaking out and panicking, screaming. They were terrified. People were cursing. Of course, at that time, I actually thought, like, it was really bad to curse. So I'm like, oh no, they were cursing right before they died. And then you had a guy that was saying the Lord's Prayer, and the sound goes out right before. And I was well in the house of the Lord, and it goes out. So by the time he was about to say forever, he was already there. If it's the same one.
He was already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of, like, people ask me all the time, like, why do you care so much about science or local realism or things like that? And it's because the world is so much more interesting when you listen to the crazy shit that these scientists are telling us about reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a lot of implications.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of them. What the fuck is going on if the physical world that we're seeing around us is not there? Like, that has a lot of implications. But yeah, man, like, it's a tough thing to reconcile, you know, life and death. Like, how important those people were to the people in their lives, and they're gone like that for something that they wanted to do their entire lives, like what their dreams were. And your dream ends up killing you. Same thing with the Titanic. It's like, and then you hear these stories, and the other thing, like, that's, and for a while, like, there were the whole thing about, like, the disaster movie. And
I was like Day After Tomorrow.
Especially like mid 90s, early 2000s disaster. I mean, there was one point where it was like every summer there was like a guaranteed disaster movie. That stopped after 9/11 though. After 9/11, the whole genre of every summer we're gonna do a disaster movie. I haven't really seen.
Do you think that's because before we didn't really have a big disaster that, like, affected us?
Yeah.
So we were like, ooh,
yeah,
this
Americans.
is
Yeah, life was just so cushy for Americans.
That,
we had to invent. We had to invent shit to be scared of because, you know, we were out there terrorizing the entire planet.
Wow.
But yeah, man, like 9/11, you know, like my brother was supposed to be there, and he wasn't that day. And then my
Your
aunt,
older brother was supposed to be there?
yeah, she was right. He's right. He's supposed to be in Building 7, pretty sure. So
why wasn't he there? What happened?
Late, whatever, and like it's crazy because. You know, he just did some incredible shit in the world, and he wouldn't have been able to if. So I had an aunt in that building that she didn't make it out. So it's like, it's hard. It's hard to reconcile all that shit, and it's hard for me because when I love people, man, I love them hard. So I'm always like, yo, like, fuck, man, what if, you know what I'm saying, like. I imagine being Sally Ride's dad or whoever's dad, Christopher Cole's dad, and be like, "Yo, that's your daughter, bro. She was a teacher. She wasn't even a trained astronaut. None of that shit. She was just a, you know." And it was like a really cool thing, really cool Florida thing, and you know, here we are. So
yeah, we'll get it on the commercial.
Yeah, so that's what the song. That's what the song did for me. You know? I thought the best disaster movie show.
Wait, which one?
Listen, Jessie from Saved by the Bell was like the main actress in that movie. So I was like, "Yo, we got to see that movie, bro." And my big brother was like, "No, you cannot see that movie. It's NC-17." It was a terrible movie. It was a terrible movie.
So you did see it, or you didn't see it?
No.
Oh, you listened to him?
Oh, big bro, yeah. He said, "Forget. I'm not gonna do that shit."
Okay.
I'm gonna watch the shit if he says it's bad.
Oh, Ben wants the scrolling ticker.
Oh, he does. That's right. Hey.
I'm gonna plug. Well, let's finish this one and then we'll adjust those things.
Yes, for sure. Showgirls. Don't worry about it, Hunter. It's a non-issue. Okay, go ahead. What do you get the song?
Oh boy. You go first.
No.
I think I'm gonna go with a 9.6.
Whoa.
What? I liked it.
Whoa. That's a high. You give me some high scores to black metal.
I'm telling you.
Have you become a black metal fan?
No,
What's
I
going
have
on with
not.
you?
I have not. But Ben said earlier, you heard him. He's not a black metal person either, and he picked these songs. And usually the style of stuff that he picks, I like. So, and I'll tell you, I have to say this did happen though, because we had started that other song, and I was vibing with that one so much. I was mad that we had to shut it off and go back to this one.
The folky one.
Yes,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. And so I when I get mad, it's hard for me to reset and stop being mad. I don't know why I have that problem. I'm really working on it. So I started feeling annoyed and mad that we had to stop that song because I really liked it. So I already had an attitude with this song.
You was about to feel the pain, Ben. You was about to feel the pain, my boy.
Well, it's not his fault that we put the wrong song up. So.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
So anyway, but then I was like, I gotta
mortify the flesh.
No, the song was like
typical woman.
No,
typical woman. Dwayne says.
Shut up, Dwayne. The song was like, sorry, experience me, and so I started listening. I couldn't not listen, and then I started really liking it.
All right. We shall return.
9.6. What did you give it?
9.7. 9.8 from me. I really like the song.
I feel like that you just wait for my score and then just up it by a couple.
You always say that. Like, there's no competition. We're not competing on scores. It's not like people can be like,
well, then how come you don't rate first?
Because I rate first a lot. Matter of fact, I've rated first the vast majority of the time in this channel. We shall return on the other side of the break, dear listener. More shit coming on the other side of the break. Let's go. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Here we are. We are in the midst of the Ben Bear stream. DJ Ben, dear listener. We had 2 songs in a row from this band that you need to pick up the album from. The name of the band is Sworn. Incredible band.
Good. Such a great band.
Yeah.
Such a great band. Okay, up next is whoops, my head is cut off. Should I raise that camera or just let it be?
I mean, it's been like that for quite some time.
All right. Up next is
The Spirit Returns, Blackbraid.
Oh, Blackbraid.
Blackbraid is the name of the band.
Okay, click on it because he had something he had to say.
What happened?
He had something he had to say about it.
Oh, okay.
Blackbraid. He said I couldn't do this stream and leave out what was probably one, if not the most hotly anticipated album, which is Blackbraid. It was unleashed July 7th.
2.
Yes, which was released July 7th, 2023. It was not my favorite, but I loved these 2 tracks. Okay, so The Spirit Returns, and we're going to watch the official. Do you want to do it from that phone, or do you want to just
Yeah.
put it up here.
Are
you in Trello on
the
your
Spirit Return?
Oh yeah, look it up that way. Yeah.
Let's do it here. And then we have the and the song starts at 2:10 on the other one. Okay.
Okay. So let me bring that up to you guys.
Is Blackbraid is that an allusion to like a Native American thing or a Norse thing? Does anybody know? Okay, so I've got the official music video up here. I'm going to turn down the volume.
It was what, 2 minutes and what?
2 minutes and 10 seconds is the Blackbraid song.
I'm close. 2 minutes. Right
yeah, so just let me know, guys, if is that Norwegian or is that Native American? I feel like Blackbraid. I feel like I heard something about like indigenous Americans called Blackbraids or something like that. I'm waiting. Somebody's gonna know. Perkin also know.
On the picture that I saw, it was
Larry's here. Blackbraid is Native American.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait till you see the picture when you pull up the
official.
The what? I don't know. I think it's on the official that you might see it. Yeah, exactly, Ben. That's what I thought, because when I was downloading this stuff, I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw something that made it clear.
You said the video will make it clear?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got it on your phone?
Yeah, I'm just letting it play till 2. There it is.
Okay.
Turn up the volume. All right, y'all, here we go. Blackbraid is the name of the band. The name of the song is The Spirit Returns. Let's do this shit. Wow. Whoa.
All right.
Wait. That was the song, right?
Yeah.
Was it? Or did we get the whole thing?
Yeah.
I didn't cut it off. How do you know?
Because the end of the music video is there.
That's because I hit that thing.
Oh. We good, Ben?
Ben, are we good? Did we hear the whole song? It's a little bit challenging because I didn't have the timestamp thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you didn't get to see the music video, which is a crime, you should be able to see that music video because it was freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
Seriously, it was beautiful, like literally beautiful. I loved it. So it's a bunch of indigenous individuals, you know, in the middle of a desert or on a plane or something doing the black metal thing. I wish you guys had been able to see it. It's incredible.
Definitely take the time to go check it out.
Yeah, that aesthetic works really well with metal, huh?
100%. I was surprised. Like,
go ahead.
The entire aesthetics and how it went. Like being in the desert, them like they still had like this like indigenous look, I guess.
100, yeah,
you know, but at
100%.
the same time they still looked metal.
100%.
And they looked like black metal. So
it was incredible.
Blackbraid black metal.
Yeah, the aesthetic worked really well for me. I mean, like that, like when I imagined us, like, oh, what would be your gimmick? You know, like because remember you used to say that you were like 2% Cherokee.
What
or
I was
something.
told. No, it was Passamaquoddy and Penobscot.
Passamaquoddy or whatever. So I'm like, oh, that would be badass. Like we could have Sori dressed up, you know, like with the little, you know, whatever. But that's not how they function. It's like people were talking about that during the whole what's her face president was calling Pocahontas. What's her name?
Oh my word.
A lion lady. A lady that lied all the time.
Say it out loud.
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren. When she was saying that, you know, and like I have more Native American in me than Elizabeth. I mean, I'm
Sad.
Caribbean.
Well,
you know like we're West Indians.
She made a cookbook, so
yeah, she made an indigenous cookbook. Lion ass.
How rude.
Lion ass.
Chat GPT.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a mistake. It's a mistake, Elizabeth Warren said.
So it sounds like it's a war. We're talking about a war song. They're going off.
Yeah, I
but
think,
like the blood
you know,
of their
like,
ancestors, the people that died before them, is kind of like, you know, encouraging them on in their fight.
On ancient winds a spell bestows to part the seas and crack the sky. A burning spear to pierce a shroud of malice wrought. Their vengeful spirits cry.
Just in case anybody was wondering. Whoops.
So
Jet is white.
Here's my thing. How do I say this? I talk to black people.
Okay.
These black Israelites. You know, I still try to keep dialogue open. I still like talk to homeboy. Every once in a while I'll drop by or I'll drop a verse on him like, yo, check this verse out. How do you feel? That type of thing. Yeah, I just want to keep like the relationship open with the black Israelites.
Oh.
The black Israelites are people who are trying to be Christian and keep their vengeful hatred of white people intact. And those two can't function together. And so, because it's impossible to reconcile biblically with their hatred of white people, you end up in a situation where you can't tell the difference between God's standard of justice and your standard of vengeance.
Jeez.
Because in our minds, we cannot
what a
make the
line.
distinction between human vengeance and divine judgment. So, if I am talking to a room full of white people from, you know, Tennessee, Nebraska, whatever, there's things that I would say that I would not say if I was in a room full of black Israelites.
Yep.
Because those groups need to hear different messages.
100%.
And one of the problems that they have with me, because in their theology, Jesus is going to come back, who's obviously black. He's going to massacre. He's going to kill all white people. And then what is he's going to do is he's going to raise those same white people that he killed. He's going to raise them from the dead and then make them eternal slaves of black people. Where black people will then get to, and by the way, not just black people, but Native Americans as well. Because indigenous people, you should be happy, Dwayne, according to the Black Israelites, the indigenous are also part of, I think it's a tribe of Benjamin. No, the Jamaicans were Benjaminites. But anyway, the indigenous peoples were part of God's chosen people. So according to the Black Israelites, white people will be resurrected after Jesus kills them all to be slaves of black people and indigenous people in America forever. So when a Black Israelite talks about heaven, depending on what camp they're coming from, that's what they're talking about. And so one of the things I said to them was, I don't believe your theology because I have a hard time holding on to a theology that appeals so well to my emotions. So I said, you don't need supernatural power to hate white people. If you're black, all you need is the ability to read. But it's the same thing that happened to Malcolm. Malcolm had no use for white people. He went to his, he made Hijrah, and he's at, Beit Allah, the house of God, next to some lily white guy. And the lily white guy is doing his Islamic ritual, and he goes, American white people are not the only kind of white people on the planet. It's people all over the world. And so Malcolm changed. He adjusted. But when you're in the middle of all of that shit, and our white friends will never understand, when you're in the middle of that shit, of course. You know what I'm saying? You got to get outside of the conflict that you're engaged in to see another group of people and be like, yo. Mm-hmm. And so...
Yep.
And the other thing is, I pause as an American when you talk about judging white people for those invasions and the destruction. You have to pause as an American, even as a black American, because as a black American and as an indigenous American, I'm sorry, you benefit from the criminal activity of your government. I do, you do. And so, if a person from overseas saw 9/11, they go, hey, right? It's like, so I'm looking at these historical beefs, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just now coming into the struggles of the indigenous. That's why I'm being very circumspect in the words that I'm using, because I hate when people who are not from my community speak for my community. A lot of white liberals feel just completely comfortable talking about me and my community. Like, why are you so comfortable? I could say that I have I could say at some level as a black person in America, I have some understanding, but I really don't, because the situations are different. But how do we not get over it, but learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn as human beings from these historical episodes is my question. And there's one answer that says, oh, the band should never do songs like this because it's bringing up the past. And if you bring up the past, you're being divisive. This is what a lot of well-meaning white people who are telling us to have unity. Come on, have unity. They don't realize that it's unity according to their terms.
Yeah, because if a song brings it up and causes problems, that means it has not been dealt with. There's no healing that's taken place.
Seduct.
If the healing had taken place and then the song was brought up, then people would be like, okay, what type of energy is it? Is this hey, this was wrong, we should repeat this? Or is this an apology because we've already done what was necessary to show that we are sorry? You know what I'm saying? It's obviously still raw and open.
Right. But this is what I'm talking about. I had this friend that was just felt really comfortable talking about, they're just doing this to divide us. Because she's got this artist that she loves, but this artist keeps bringing up George Floyd every 2 seconds. And she's like, no. That's because they're exploiting George Floyd. That's why he keeps bringing him up. I'm like, and he's not exploiting George Floyd by constantly bringing him up? because he knows what his audience is going to say to that. What these people don't understand is that I don't see George Floyd. I see my brother, I see my son.
Exactly.
And so when you get people that say, "Oh, the race shit is just to divide us," they don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why is your perspective the one we need to unify about?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the racists who are divisive and you need to be unified with us, and maybe you're on the side of division. So the solution for white America, whether it's liberal white America or conservative white America, is like, don't talk about it happened in the past, forget it, and we're just gonna pretend that there are not reverberating consequences to this fucking day. On the other side, you're gonna act like then people got on them slave ships because a bunch of white people jumped off the boat. Them motherfuckers didn't have no fucking GPS, bro. How the fuck did they know where to go in Africa and where to take them people?
Right.
That's because your own people did that shit, bro. Your own people Judased you and fucking sold you out to white folks. Go read. There are a bunch of indigenous folks that betrayed their people. Stop it. Have you seen Apocalypto, whatever that is, the Mel Gibson movie? It's too indigenous. We saw it. There's not a word in English. Remember, they're going to kill all them people. The guy was running at the end. You see all the ships, the conquistadors coming in the final scene.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Have you read up on the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayas? The thousands and thousands of people that they sacrificed to their... This is human beings. I'm not going to say that America, the American continent, was this wonderful, pristine environment of just beauty. And then on came the Anglo-Saxons, and fuck, here we are. You can't do that. We were killing the shit out of each other. Eating each other's hearts, all type of shit. That's a fact. So, that's the world I'm in, bro. I got on one side, I got, you know, fragile white people who cannot deal with the fact that their ancestors were evil motherfuckers. And cannot deal with the fact that all the things that they earned, they got a head start from. They just can't reconcile with it. They want to act like everybody's on the same level. You had a black president. What the fuck? But on the other hand, I got other people who are trying to convince us that there's some weird formulation in Anglo-Saxon DNA that separates them from the rest of the human family, as if the shit that they did was the first time a conquest, slavery, and oppression ever happened. Stop it. This is humanity. Admit that your forefathers were evil motherfuckers and that you to this day benefit from their fucking fucked up behavior. Admit that your ancestors had sinful nature inside of them just like everybody else. And I don't see how we squash these generations-long beef without a mutual understanding of our own flaws and, from my view as a Christian, all the rage that's justified by me when I see Trayvon and all these other people. And God says to me, bro, you're in pain, I know. But if that cross is not enough for you to let that shit go, then I can't help you, and I'm God. So how about you just sit at the foot of the cross and let God sort out what's what? But man, it's difficult. This shit is really difficult. So it's not as simple. It's not as simple as what everybody wants us to say. And unfortunately, the reality is the world is a lot more complicated, sticky, messy, and nasty than you realize. But I'm sorry, if you're in the United States of America, whether or not you support what your country is doing emotionally, you're benefiting from what your country is doing and what your country has done to people all over the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And at minimum, you have to be held responsible because we've never truly held a government accountable because we're comfortable. And the only time Americans really start making noise is when the economy starts getting fucked up. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Okay, so it's a challenging song. it's difficult for all of us, and that's what I got, man. All I got is all of us suck, and the Lord Jesus Christ was brutalized on behalf of all of us. I mean, all of us. So, but I love the band. I love the band. And I just tell you guys, like, look, some of the reason that I'm a Christian is just that I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how you handle the pain, the anger. To his point, the disrespect. I was talking to one of these liberals, and this girl believes like she's some super liberal. I said, if you would have said the shit that you said around some of the black women I know, they would have smacked the shit out of you. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. A lot of you white liberals need to be really fucking careful when you're talking to people. Because
I don't know what you're referencing here.
I'm being intentionally vague because it's a girl. I'm not gonna do that. But Yarasil, do not do that.
I'm untwisting it. I'm not popping it.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit where I told Shorty, like, if you would have said that shit around some black women, they would have smacked the shit out of you. And this is a liberal, progressive girl. She thinks she's on the team down with the struggle. It's like, no, you're not.
Oh, wow.
No, you're fucking not. Yeah, but this is why I'm a Christian, man. I don't see it. I don't see any other solution. All of us suck, and Jesus was brutalized for all of us, and so my desire to see people get theirs cannot be reconciled with a crucified Jesus. That can't work. That can't put that together.
Mm-hmm.
And that keeps me, that it's the cross. I go back to the cross and I go, okay, all right. Because I know that God is going to square all the accounts. The scripture says he will by no means leave the guilty unpunished.
Right.
And that's the best news in the world, and the worst news in the world is the best news in the world, because that means that all the people that oppress my folks, the last minute of all their labor is going to be accounted for, believe me. But you know what else that means? That means that God's going to look at me and look at my fucking record and your record. And he's going to say, well, I've got you here for apathy. You lived in a country that bombed the shit out of all these people I loved and created, and you didn't really do anything about it. You shot a YouTube video about it. You did nothing about it. You were completely apathetic to the suffering of other human beings. That's what he's going to say to a lot of you. I'm a good person. I'm not a good person. Neither are you. You're apathetic and you're selfish, and most of the time you're fine with the way things are going in the country if your bank account's okay. The song's a 9.7 for me.
Oh, wow. It's a 7.2 for me.
Shout out to all my indigenous people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk about a testament to the human spirit, just go ahead and look at that community. Because like I said, I'm at the foothills of understanding the shit. You know, I got Larry, I got Larry I lean on a lot, Dwayne we lean on a lot, Pony. I'm just now coming into the shit, the unique exigencies that these particular people have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's no Washington nigger team. You got a team called the Washington Redskins, bro. There's a dude on ESPN. They just changed it. There's this dude on ESPN. he had like a redneck or something on it, and he had a shirt, Tennessee Whiteskins.
Yeah.
And he was walking down the street, and he was showing like how all the white people were reacting. What do you mean Tennessee Whiteskins? What are you talking about? Whiteskins. Like they were really upset. Because you know how white people expect you to accept shit that they would never accept for themselves? Is like that. So it's a Tennessee Whiteskins. Now all of a sudden you got death threats, all types of shit.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, babe. I really thought that was one that if they put white skins, people wouldn't care. Like, I really could care less. Put white skins all the way, but
I
I understood that there's like a history, and so that's why people would.
You know why they cared?
Wow.
Because they understood the cultural dialogue. They knew what he was doing. They knew he was doing. Anyway, yeah. So it's funny. It's funny. Like the shit that we're supposed to accept, and when white people have to deal with it, it's like the end of the fucking world. It's hilarious. What do you mean, white skins? Shut up. All right, what do you get a song?
My thing was, when I started noticing there was like a big giant gap, was when white people were saying they had a very big issue with people making them wear a mask, but those same people were saying that the people on the border should follow the rules and not bring their kids in here. And they were also saying, you know, like stuff like that like gets to me. I'm like, okay, obviously it's you don't want to follow the rules, and you'll break the rules here because that seems like the best plan for you, and you don't think that there's a big giant fallout. But here's these people that want to save their kids, so they're going to break the rules to save their kids. And like, I understand that the mask thing, you know, and the border rules and stuff, but it was the point, or that they expect us to just sit by while, you know, black people are getting killed in the street, kids and everything. Like, this is crazy. Like, I say kids as in teenagers. I mean, it's insane. And that would not get accepted. Like, there's no way, the white people that I know, if you went and treated their kids that way and then nothing got done about it, they would never
look at
accept
Ashley
such a
Babbitt.
thing.
Look at Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah.
You know, black kid gets shot before they even see the video. They were like, "Hey man, you know, just follow. I mean, come on." Somebody tell these black kids to just listen to the police. But then Ashley Babbitt, they're like, why'd they shoot her?
Yeah.
Why? What's going? It's like, but they're dead ass serious. And Tucker got on that show and was like, did this whole thing. You know, she was killed, she was unarmed, and he looked right into the camera with zero sense of irony.
Wow.
It's like, that's not supposed to happen to us.
Mm-hmm. Wow, dude.
Shout out to Tucker Carlson.
All right, you guys, we'll be right back. We're coming back for that song that we started temporarily that I'm really looking forward to. So,
Vin, tell them to get over 9/11. Nah, you know what I did? A couple 9/11s ago? I put all buildings matter.
Did you?
Yeah. All buildings matter. All right. We'll come back on the other side of the break. Commercial break. We'll be right back. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Sorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
Buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are in the midst of a stream from the big homie DJ Ben.
Okay. I don't have the button to make it go up.
I think this is another Blackbraid song, inshallah.
That's interesting because I think it is also. It is.
Twilight Hymn of Ancient Blood. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Okay, so it's at 43:44. Okay, so Blackbraid is
Oh, my word. So we're not going to hear what you had started playing before? Because you just started at the beginning.
Right.
No, I'm listening to it later.
All
no,
right.
I'm not going to. I'll save it.
50.44. Here we go. Blackbraid. See, this says Follow the River. Is that the name of the song?
And he says that it's going to end at 50:04.
Because it says Twilight Hymn of Ancient Blood.
But just click on that because
I don't know if that's the name of the record.
That's the name of the song because that's the full album. We're going to start from 43:44.
Okay. All right, 43:44 it is. Here we go.
Oh, Ben. Yes, we are hearing that song. Sorry. Okay, good thing. Oh.
Yeah, because I think I actually didn't I fast forward it to that point? All right, 43:44. Okay, talk to the people while I get this thing to 43:44. Maybe you guys can ask a question.
Yeah,
you got another
ask me anything. Sorry's right. Boy, that, Ben. Thank you very much. Let's see. In the Declaration of Independence, this country called us merciless Indian savages. I don't think it was a term of endearment.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the feeling that's not necessarily a term of endearment, bro. That's kind of how I feel about it. But
okay, that's the wrong one.
I'm confused here.
That's the last song that you have on the screen.
Okay,
so
that's why I was confused because you got Shylmagoghnar, whatever that term is.
Yeah. So it's
right
this one.
here.
Put this one up. Isn't this one the one?
No, that's not.
Blackbird full album premiere. Yeah, it is. Put that one back up and go to that. That's the one that we're using that same album twice.
No, that can't be it.
Why? It's not. That's the full album.
Because what song did we just get done doing?
The Blackbird one
from
in the album.
Blackbraid one, right?
Yes, Blackbraid.
Okay, so that says Calamity.
I didn't say that one. I said this one.
Right.
Blackbraid. It's the full album premiere. So put that back up and go to 43, whatever he said.
I see what you're saying. That makes sense now. All right, so put up the same record and just go to the 43-minute mark.
Yes.
Damn, why didn't you tell me that before?
I think that is what I was trying to communicate. I'm not sure how that was miscommunicated or misunderstood.
All right, 43, 44, 43, 36.
And go to 43, 44. Yep, good job.
36.
And then the song ends at 50, 44.
There it is. Okay, guys. All right. Name of the band is Blackbraid. The name of the song is... I don't know what the name of the song is. What's the name of the song, Big Homie?
Yeah, because in the notes, I'm not sure if I got it a little...
I'm trying to get this off mute. There we go. Okay. Here we go, guys. Blackbraid, let's go. was a hard song.
Yes, it was. It's
a
so
hard
funny
song.
because it's on the same album, but I like this one so much better than the other one.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ease up there, Mr. Blackbraid. All right. I got the German flag.
Yeah, why? Why?
Because Jet is like, I'm German and Russian. I have nothing to be proud of. It's like, what?
Oh.
BMW? The Germans gave us the BMW? The Germans gave us Martin Luther? If it wasn't for Germany, there would be no Vin and Sorry. So,
Look at that.
Shout out to Germany. Long live Germany. You got nothing to be proud of. You got mad shit to be proud of if you from Germany. What you on? Okay. This song. Okay, so they're a thrash metal band. I didn't know they were a thrash metal band.
Oh, that makes sense.
Aside from Metallica.
Wow, I liked this one, and it's thrash.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, aside from early Metallica, I don't really like thrash that much, to be honest with you. But I don't know. For some reason, I like. And the riffs were kind of. They were not like revolutionary. It wasn't revolutionary riffage, but they do a very good job with understanding that if you can create a certain vocal styles almost become another instrument that increases the heaviness of the song if it's done correctly, which they did. I thought it was brilliant.
So you know how like some stuff like it'll spin in a circle based off of like a maybe like a motor or something that's making it spin. I guess everything is spinning from a motor that I'm kind of talking about, but there are some things that like they're very even, and then there are other things that are like weighted. So as they spin, they kind of like because they're weighted.
Yeah.
This song was like that. Musically, it just kept like
right.
It kept going, and each piece fit perfectly into the next piece, and it just kept like I don't know, it just kept moving. I enjoyed it, start to finish. I was like really vibing with it.
So they are a black metal band, but I like this. This is black metal. That section is what I called thrashened black metal.
Thrashened
okay,
black
that makes
metal.
Sense. Yes, it had a little bit more chunk than I'm used to for black metal. Black and thrash. What's up, Audrey Victory? Good to see you.
Hello.
Yeah. So. Okay.
I didn't see the lyrics. So
Moth creeps
I
forth.
was just vibing with
Ancient bones moan. Death creeps in. First of all, the irony of these indigenous individuals, right, playing music that was created by their oppressor. Like they're in guitar and shit, like in projecting this kind of, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's metal. I think like that's the thing that gets me about music. It's kind of talking about, you know, how do we squash this beef or whatever. Mm-hmm. One of the things that's fascinating to me is like music is one of those ways. Mm-hmm. Because now you've got the descendants of the oppressor loving your music, going to the shows, listening to what you have to say.
Giving you money for it.
Giving you money to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah.
And hear the pain of the people that you're carrying, the pain of millions of people.
Yeah, you know.
So I think it's really significant that metal is able to do that.
That is because there's something about music that makes you like kind of stop and think and consider, and it kind of like it's another avenue of learning. So, you know, if you're vibing with the music and it's meaningful to you, deeply meaningful, and you can feel the emotion. He just fell off the bed. And it's deep, honey, come here. It's deeply emotional to you. Just sonically, and then you stop and you read the lyrics, and then you experience what they experience through their music. Like it opens it up to hear more, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, yeah, what if it wasn't Beethoven or something German? Mozart? One of those guys was German. What do you mean you have nothing to be? Man, stop this nonsense. What's wrong with you? Read a book, shorty. Come on now.
Yeah.
You better stand up. You better stand up and be proud of that Russian heritage, especially the Russian heritage. Y'all didn't see Rocky V?
No, he said it was German, not Russian.
She said German and Russian. She said German and Russian. She had nothing to be proud of. Please. Listen, if I wasn't Jamaican, I would claim Russian right now.
If you what?
If I wasn't Jamaican,
you would claim
I would claim Russia. I'd have a Russian bandana, all type of shit.
Why?
Because I don't like the way that our country's treating them people, man. I don't give a fuck about Vladimir Putin, but I do care about them Russian people. And I hate the fact that their country's getting we've been dragging their country for the last 6 years in our media. They've done nothing to us. So, yeah, I mean, you know me. Like, hell yeah. I mean, you saw the kids doing the whole situation. Like, they let it know. Hell yeah, I'd be rocking the Russian flag heavy right now if I wasn't Jamaican. Fuck you, me. All right. Why would I want to be Russian? Because those boys, that's the toughest group of people on the planet, bro. They're out there in the cold and Siberian shit, and then here we are, like, laughing about, like, destroying them economically. We isolated them economically, and we didn't crush their spirit. Then people still out there doing their thing, man. Long live Russia, man. Fuck that shit. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. Moss creeps forth, ancient bones moan, death creeps in. Death comes singing, a softly blowing wind. Soul relieved from body, my spirit sheds its skin.
The marsh weeps in silent song.
Soul relieved from the body. That's an interesting... I was watching this guy. I'm not going to name the guy because I don't want people to go and watch, to look for this particular... Because I talk about this guy a lot. And I don't want people to go down that particular rabbit hole. But long story short, he basically said that somebody asked him about fearing death. And he said, you're going to be relieved when you finally realize that it's actually over. He was just talking about, it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, whatever. You know, it's like when you're saying, like, you don't like being chased. You'd rather just stop. And you don't like the feeling of being pursued.
I don't, but I'm changing on that. Because what is it about the chase that you fear? You fear being caught and what will happen to you when you get caught.
Right.
So if you fear the chase and you just go to getting caught, you're just running into your fear because you don't want to feel the feeling of your fear coming after you. Now I'm like, no, you better run. Run with all your might and your power and see if you can't get away from that.
Right.
But yeah, where are you going with that?
But he was essentially saying, like, we're all being pursued by death and all of us know we're going to lose. So you're going to be relieved when you finally realize you don't have to run from this guy anymore because there's no place to go. It's like you're, you know.
When you accept it.
Yeah. And so.
You always hear that, like, when people drown, like, that sort of explanation of, like, when they all of a sudden they're just like, okay, and you just breathe it in. And
yeah, I've heard people say that. I've never heard that about drowning. I've heard that about people when they're shot, though, and they're bleeding out and they're going into hypothalamic shock.
Yeah.
That, you know, of course, your body gets flooded with a bunch of endorphins because God. You know, because God is gracious. But yeah. Well, did you have anything more to say about that, or?
No, I was just thought you were going to go a little bit further with the thought, so I felt like I was waiting for something.
I'm purposely not, because I don't want to romanticize that idea. People being comfortable with death and death being a relief because life is a burden and all the rest of it. But
yeah,
when he said the relief of the soul leaving the body, it just made me think about that. I was like, damn. What do you think?
Yeah, I just don't think that, like, I do think that death is something that's inevitable for most, if not all of us. You know, I don't completely know how, like, the whole thing is going to end, so I don't know if there's going to be a last generation that's going to experience the end differently than death. But you know, I think that the more I walk with God and the older that I get, the more I realize, like, the value in taking every experience and experiencing it to its fullest. And by fullest, I mean being the most present possible where you are. And so I think that you do know that your death is coming, but I think that that's a struggle for us. I think that we're in a moment and we're right in that moment. Like right now, we're right here in this moment. I'm right here with you. I got my kids over there and I've got you guys right there. And like, this is the moment we're experiencing this song. But there's always this kind of struggle to, like, your mind, you know, like people are like, oh, my ADD kicked off and I was thinking about something else. But what is it really? It's your mind is running to the future to maybe worry about something or plan something or be something. Or your mind is running to the past to relive some moment that was so amazing or so great, but you miss out on here. You miss out on now. And so I think that that kind of romanticism of death, or that looking to death, makes you miss now. And I guess everybody has different experiences. When I hear your experiences, you know, you guys have heard a lot of Vinny's experiences. Like, I can understand, like, wanting to not have to feel that anymore because you've experienced so much loss.
Well, no,
You know?
I'm not talking about like not wanting to feel loss. It's specifically he was addressing the act of living because of the difficulty in the world relative to that. Just living itself
right.
out, you know.
But again,
you get sick when you're young, and you have to overcome it, you know, like right, you know, for me, outside the womb, you know, the whole situation, I was a baby, whole 9 yards. So like you're dying from the moment you're living, and you're running away from this guy that's been stalking you, and everywhere you turn, he's always behind you. It's not that, oh, you lost this, you lost. It's just, even if you never lost anybody, you know that death is a real concept. It's chasing you down. And so what this person was specifically saying was the act, living itself is an act that you're doing every day. You're choosing to be here. That was his argument.
Okay.
You're choosing to be here. So it's an act that you're living is a positive act. A lot of people look at living as a positive act, like you're just alive, right? And he's saying living is a positive act. And if it's a positive action, that means it takes effort, right? And so by definition, if living is a positive action that requires effort and strain, dying then would be a passive action that does not require that strain. Because now you're it's like a course. You know, you're tired, you're messed up, this guy's got a torn this guy's got a broken that. And then you hear a whistle and you're like, okay, this phase is over. And like there's that relief because I no longer have to, you know, run 8 miles in a
I can see
7.5 minute average or whatever.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right? So that's what
so
he's
it almost
that's what
sounds
he's talking
like
about.
that what you're doing, because you're talking about death chasing you throughout your life, and essentially, and it's coming after you.
Yeah.
But when you flip it and you talked about it in that way, it almost sounds like you come to the point where you say, no, death isn't chasing me, it's over there, and eventually I will come to it and I will pass. You know what I mean? Like almost it's almost like a warmth at the end instead of a chasing you.
Well, the way he described it, it was like, you ever see those like movies where the bad guy's like trying to get away from the cop, and then the cop finally wins and he gets him, and the bad guy goes, you got me. It's like the chase is over, so now like I can just deal with it. Like I lost, I'm in a bad situation, but I don't the chase, the running, I don't have to do that anymore.
Yep.
So
or like when people like commit crimes and they're running from the law, and finally they're like, just catch me.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be chased.
So that's how he was talking about death, you know. Yeah. So there you go. What do you get the song?
You go first.
The song is a 9.7 for me. I really like this band a lot. I like what they stand for. I like what they do. I love the metal. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about this band.
I'm going to go with a 9.5.
All right, guys. We will see you on the other side of the break. More metal coming on the other side. We'll catch you up.
Right back.
I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Ben and There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed, and Charles shall lead them.
To buy our merch. All right, you guys, the final stream of the DJ... Oh, you did put the ticker. Good job, babe. Of the DJ Ben stream is... Hold. Right here. Sorry, guys. Okay, the last one is going to be... Oh, can you say this?
Shylmagoghnar.
The name of the song
That's
is...
not... So, your
That
Grace.
is it. But that's the...
Where...
Oh, maybe the unofficial's not there.
Where's the Follow the River one then?
That is it, but this is the official video. He wants us to watch the official.
Oh,
So you're
Follow
gonna
the
play
River
that and-
is... I got you,
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so Shylmagoghnar.
Can you go back to things like...
Shylmagoghnar. Shylmagoghnar, dear listener.
That sounds better. That sounds like more like what it should be. He says, Middle and me were both excited on September 5th, 2023, when melodic black metal maestros
Shylmagoghnar. Hold on. All right, Shylmagoghnar.
Shylmagoghnar released a single for their yet-to-be-released album, Convergence. Later this year, also a shout-out to the Village's own Tina for introducing the band through Transcend's Reaction a few years ago.
Gang shit.
All right, you guys, follow the river. Vin and Sorry watch the official and put the others on the side.
All right. I just had a really good conversation with Tina a couple hours ago. Shout out to Tina. She's going to be making a return soon, inshallah. All right. Yeah, Tina is like, you know how Perkinos is my encyclopedia of like Christianity and history?
Yeah.
Tina's my encyclopedia for metal.
Well, she used to do something.
Yeah,
really-
she's like literally like she used to
Yeah.
educate. She's literally like a metal historian, like literally.
Yeah, I knew that like way at the beginning of the channel, she was informing us on all the what was going on. But I was so like music illiterate that when she was talking about what she was doing, I didn't even really fully understand.
Gotcha.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, I'm gonna have to disagree with all of you guys hating on my boy Kant. Kant was very important, and if you like Schopenhauer, I don't know how you can like Schopenhauer and not like Kant, especially with the new shit that's coming out scientifically. Okay, we'll come on the other side of the break. All right, let's go. Here we go. Okay, so we've got the official video. Hold on, let me pull up the official video.
We can put that on the phone like we did before.
People were talking shit about my man Kant. I was like, what? Even Perkinos went into
You're
their
the wrong
wickedness.
place to do that.
Even Perkinos was sucked into their foolishness. Perkinos, of all people.
No,
hating
babe,
on
somebody
Kant. How
hacked his account.
dare you?
Somebody hacked his account. It can't be. I refuse to believe.
Look him. Look, he doesn't even like Schopenhauer either.
What? You have opinions, I assume.
You remember Schopenhauer, the world is will and intention.
The world is will and intention?
Yeah. Remember that whole thing we were looking at?
I have
On the
so
car
many
drive?
thoughts floating around in my head.
All right, here we go. Follow the river.
Ben, are you lying to us? He's like, this is a nice song. Very relaxing.
Do you hear anything?
No, I don't.
That's not Ben's fault. That's my fault.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the literal song we're both
You know what happens? Because I'm such a stickler, I want to be exact. When we do those albums, I turn down the volume because I can't get it at the exact right spot. So I'll let the other song play out in mute until I get right to the...
Oh, that's actually smart.
See what I'm saying?
I like that.
So I was playing the song on mute. That's why.
That is smart. Good job, babe.
Yeah, you know. All right, here we go, guys. You got people saying Kant was kind of dry. Kant was kind of... It's philosophy. You want wet philosophy? Can't please anybody. Everybody's got to be entertained to death. All right. But they like Nietzsche, though.
Right.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. to Neil Viscaris a little bit right here.
Woo!
Getting up there, he's getting up there, let's go. Hear that in the back? Molinism is William. Shout out to William Lane Craig.
Okay. I know what they...
Hey, Bernardo Kastrup is my current favorite modern philosopher. Bernardo Kastrup is my favorite modern philosopher right now. I actually could probably get him to do an interview,
Oh,
actually.
you should.
I probably could.
I'll sit in on it if you do.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. We
Okay.
are at the end, unfortunately.
So-
What did you think of this song?
It was an interesting song because there were elements of it that I really liked and elements of it that I did not like Bach. Like, really didn't like. And I don't know if it was something about the visuals because there was like a lot of like little particles, and you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I was worried about that. Sori has a, it's actually a mental condition. I forgot the name of the condition, but it's anytime she sees things with holes, she gets freaked out. It's weird. It's
really
to
weird,
witness.
and it's honestly gotten worse the older that I've gotten, and I actually want to. There's got to be a way to overcome it, but I tried this whole like look at a bunch of stuff that bothers you to just like toughen yourself up and get overcome it, but it didn't work.
He said perhaps we could get Kant for an interview. I
So
think
you
he's
just-
been long dead. He's just dead, like because he's talking about the John Lennon.
I know what's happening here.
I put that shit up on the screen. That's what Peter was like. You can't embarrass this guy. He doesn't.
It's true. He doesn't really
He
get
said
it.
Yugoslavia. Remember I said Yugoslavia? We got the kid the guitar.
Yeah.
Shout out to the village for getting that kid that guitar.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, you're from Yugoslavia. You gotta...
Tell people what to look up if they want to see it. It's a really cool video.
Yeah, I'll send it to you guys later.
There was something you said, like, what's the title in it?
Yeah, it's like Vin meets a rock star or something like
Yeah,
that.
look that up. It's a good
old
video.
news.
It's old news, but people are new to the channel, and it's a fun video. It's cool to see what the village had been doing. But yeah, so I'm not sure if I looked away from the visuals for a while, and then you were like, "Oh, did you see that?" You were like, "It opened up and everything came," and I was like, "Woo!"
No, he had a shirt.
Yeah.
And he opened it up, and in his chest, it was basically like a river. It was like nature. You know how, like, Krishna,
Yeah.
he opened his mouth, and you showed us all the universe in his mouth? Dude opened up his shirt, and then there was I wish you guys could have seen it. It was like, it was just the best. Like, conceptually, they pulled it off. And I also liked, the guy had a blindfold as he was singing, which I
Yeah.
thought was really cool because...
You know what it looked like? Oh, go ahead.
No.
It didn't look like a regular blindfold. It looked like what they put over the faces of like the lepers people. You know, like they like completely cover them and stuff like that. It looked like a blind person.
Yeah.
In those old movies, that's what it looked like. Not like a blindfold, but it looked
was
like
badass. It was badass.
Yeah, it
I was
was.
thinking to myself, like, yo, I would, if I was on stage, that's what I would wear. I would wear the thingy, and then I would wear that like over my eyes, but I'd have to have it be like a little bit see-through.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what material.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? That would be so badass. I would show
You
up
should
like
do that.
like Neo from the Matrix in Part 3. You don't know because we didn't watch Part 3, but yeah, I was like, yo, that would be badass, dude. Like, had the thing over my eye with the thing, and oh, that would be so hot. That'd be, yes, Pinky.
That would be so what?
That'd be hot. Like, yes.
It would be.
Because we would destroy the world with stage presence, obviously. I mean, you
honestly.
and me, like,
Oh.
the rest of the band could be completely corny. Our stage presence would be like on 50,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna
The
send
guitar is gonna be Scooby-Doo, ABC.
No.
But the stage, listen, I know what my superpower is. I know it's not. The guitar is gonna be, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be a distraction. Then there's gonna be your vocals and the stage presence and our chemistry.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
They-
we would crush it. We would crush it. We'd crush it.
Yeah, you go out.
If we really wanted to, we'd legitimately. If I wanted to channel the Capitol into that instead of what we're channeling it into, we could absolutely.
my
we would
gosh.
we would absolutely do. Absolutely.
Soon.
I told you, like, you're a famous person. Forget it. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so let's pull up the lyrics.
one of the things I'll say about Ben is that, how do I say this without people getting insulted? Because a lot of times you can't compliment somebody without other people getting insulted. You know how it should go.
I just think that you shouldn't worry about other people. Just compliment Ben.
Lyrically,
everybody else shut the fuck up.
The people that appeal to Ben are extremely deep, thoughtful, ironic writers. Like, I'm looking at these lyrics right now. They're incredibly amazing lyrics. The guy in this band, you know, people say genius, so I'm not going to say he's a genius, but the way that, you know, obviously I appreciate anybody that can manipulate the English language like this, but I mean, it's incredible. So like the people, the kinds of bands that appeal to Ben seem to be at a different level as far as like intellect go. Yeah. And you can almost tell based on what kind of conversations get instigated by the song. And a lot of people in the chat don't realize that, but a lot of the chat is dictated that way. So like we had an entire debate about Hegel versus Kant and Schopenhauer and all the rest of it. It's because of the caliber of the lyrics that are being written that create the opening for that kind of conversation.
That's true. You know, songs like People Equal Shit, they're not going to get you there, but it still has its value depending on what mood you're in.
Correct. As the day becomes night, you see that ellipses. The thing starts with an ellipses, so that tells me that this is probably... Hey, Ben, is this a concept record? Because it sounds like you're meant to interpret this as this is a continuation from the previous song.
It could be, but sometimes I start out my writings with, you know, I love ... You know me.
Right.
Sometimes I started out with that because I'm writing it as though, like, because I'm me, so I've been my entire life through my whole life. So when I start to write, I'm like, there's all this behind, so that's where the ... is, and this is from that point on. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Is it it's a concept record?
Holy shit! This is a concept record. It's not out yet. It's out November 10th. So this is a pre-release single type of thing. So we're getting, it's almost like an exclusive type of shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it definitely looks like it's meant to be a concept record. So that being the case, as the day becomes night, torrents of water sing pains of unnumbered lives, shattering the sophistry and drowning out the fading sense of I. Underneath the swirling storm of voices and passing microcosms, crushing currents grind the path within which flow the ravages of time. This seems to me like he's describing a DMT trip, which is very interesting. He says, shattering the sophistry. Sophistry is like...
It's so funny because
philosophical bullshit. Like it's to the point where it's just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like the exigencies of the concupiscence of Augustine when he was 4 years old versus the blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, we're talking about original sin. We can go to Romans 6. We can talk about Augustine stealing the fruit and all that shit. You ain't got to go there. Like, it's sophistry. Or like, if you want to look at a perfect example of sophistry, go and Google "atheist explains how nothing can produce everything." And this dude was dead serious. I'm not going to name the scientist who labored to make such an argument.
Why wouldn't you name him?
I'm not going to do it. Close to the end of his life, he had this entire... So nothing really can come from... Everything really can come from something. And then we were in the atheist chat. And the guy was like, aha, Christians, how you feel about that? Your entire thing is over. It was like, okay, you guys are always talking about, like, evidence, you have to have evidence. What is your evidence?
To us.
You remember that debate I had with that guy? And I said, he said, how do you know there's a God? And I said, well, it's because of the impossibility to the contrary. Mm-hmm. He said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, little brother, if there was ever nothing, then nothing would be.
Right.
He said, he asked me what my evidence of that was. I said, 0 plus 0 will always equal 0. Dun, dun, he said, that's math. That's not science. I said, the ultimate way that you prove what you're saying is true, as a matter of fact,
is mathematical.
The term proofs is a mathematical term. Proofs is a mathematical term. Okay? So that's sophistry. Sophistry is just human pseudo-intellectual bullshit. Mm-hmm. People think that if they get very verbose and articulate, it means that they're automatically right and that they're deep. You know, it's like Jay-Z said. It's like, it's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. Just because you don't understand what he says doesn't mean that he can write. Don't mean he's nice.
Exactly.
He's talking about Nas. He was wrong about that, though. But it's true, because you had these rappers that were just, like, crazy into the numerology and, like, whew, over everybody's head. Like if you listen to I'm sorry, a lot of guys are going to hate me for this shit. But if you listen to Wu-Tang Clan, if you listen to a bunch of their shit, it's like, beloved, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody knows. Like, I'm serious. Like, I could pull up some of these lyrics from Wu-Tang. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, y'all, it's like, what? Because they're the slang from where they were from was so, like, parochial. It was like only them. So, like, only 5 people from Queens knew
No kidding.
what the fuck Wu-Tang was saying half the time. But it was Wu-Tang. So everybody's like, oh, woo!
So wait, do you understand
the
a lot of
woo?
it, or
No, I didn't understand. Nobody understood. It was nonsense.
Then how do we? Oh,
It was dumb. Wu-Tang Clan had Method Man, they had Inspector Deck, they had RZA, and they had Old Dirty Bastard, who was basically you know, he's a gimmick. He was a mascot. I mean, literally, the guy's name is Old Dirty Bastard. I mean, literally. So, yeah, like I appreciate the dig against sophistry. And a lot of times, actually, like people will accuse you and say, "Well, you use sophistry, blah blah blah." So it's kind of it's an arbitrary term. You know, a lot of like for example, the modern equivalent of accusing somebody of sophistry is word salad. Mm-hmm. So like when people can't understand Jordan Peterson, instead of saying I had to Google a couple of those terms,
yeah,
they just say word salad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, is you're too insecure to say, I don't know what he's saying because he's a super educated individual. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, millennials only have one round in their gun, which is, you're stupid.
You're dumb, so you're dumb.
Right? So obviously, Jordan Peterson, you know, if he's obviously more educated intellectual than you, you have to attack him at another level. And so that's what the term word salad is. Most of the time when I've heard a person use the term word salad, it's just them being too insecure to ask, you know, what you mean.
Wow.
Type of thing.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. I just want to show you guys.
Let's see what
I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Some of these ridiculous lyrics from Wu-Tang Clan. I twist darts from the heart, tried and true, loop my voice on the LP, martini on the slang rock, certified chatterbox. Vocabulary, Donna talking. Tell your story walking. Take cover, kid. What? Run for your brother, kid. Run for your team and your 6 can't rhyme groupies. So I can squeeze with the advantage and get wasted. My deadly notes reign supreme. Your thoughts is basic compared to mine. Domino effects, arts and crafts. Paragraphs contain cyanide. Take a free ride on my thought. I got fashion catalogs for y'all to praise due to the Ridiculous! That's sophistry, dear listener. I'm sorry, that's some whack shit from the Wu-Tang Clan. All right. So he's in this state of mind where he's stripped off human sophistry or whatever. Yeah. Fractured, though this world may feel, all becomes one when observed from the cracks in the seams. There it is. That's what I'm saying. People talk about this with these experiences, DMT and NDEs, where they see the uniformity and the universality of everything. Yeah. You know, we're like, I was not a part of nature. I was nature. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, people have these experiences where they're almost de-individuated. People talk about ego death, like the self is no longer there. And he actually says it when he says it was in the second part where he says there's no more I or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was there's no more I as in like me. Yes. Which
I saw that part.
Most of the time when people are taking these DMT trips, they call it ego death. Yep. Where the sense of self as being a completely separate operating sentient being with its own separate ontology from the external world is gone. Yeah. And so like you feel like a drop in an ocean.
Yeah, I think that's such an important thing to it. I'm not promoting DMT. I've never done any of that. I'm not promoting it. But when people talk about it and I hear what they have to say about it, I'm like, you know, I really think that has a lot of value to it because we're so individual in our country and in our world, but if we could all come, like, imagine if this is crazy. Again, I'm not promoting this, but like if everybody had that experience at the same time, and then we all realized, like, yo, we're part of a giant collective. And it's not just that we're interconnected with each other, but we are interconnected with something that is beyond us, that is greater than us. And we are part of it, and it is part of us, but in a separate, but yet same sort of way. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's like a cheat sheet, or like because I think that in religion and in your, in experiences in times of prayer and worship, like, that's been the experience. And I think that, like, when I talk about it, it almost kind of maybe sounds like that I know, like, the DMT sort of experience, that collective and that separate, like, part of everything.
Well, I think you do, because I think all DMT is a shortcut to getting to those states of consciousness that disciplined spiritual people got to.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just a shortcut.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think that's my running theory as to why those things are prohibited in the Bible, because God wants the wrestling and the relationship that you have to do to get to that level.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Instead of just, taking the off ramp. It's almost a form of spiritual pornography in a sense. It's like, I want this experience before the appropriate relational issue is established. See what I'm saying? From our perspective, the sexual union is not supposed to happen until the relationship has been built.
Yeah.
Then you get there to the euphoria. But you can go, there's certain places you can go straight there and forget the relationship and go straight to the experience. And that, to me, is why I think DMTs and things like that are prohibited in Scripture. It's because it's a form of prostituting the divine realm to a degree, to where you can, and then it comes down to a situation like, if you really need to get the right DMT experience and you need to go to South America, it's like, okay, so that means that only people in a certain financial situation can benefit from the spiritual enlightenment. So now you have all these super rich white people that made hijra to South America, now coming back with all this knowledge.
Right.
Because those people have been practicing, but see, those people have been in it for years.
Yeah. The
actual, like, indigenous people, that they've been in that shit. Like, if you talk, like, I was listening to Dennis McKenna, or it's Terrence or Dennis, I forgot which one it was. The big guy, the guy that, and he said that that those people said that they were told by the plants how to do the mixture.
Yes.
And again, I don't think that the plants told them, but I do believe, like many people now in the U.S. government, that there are beings that are non-human intelligences that can communicate telepathically. We've got people. Okay, so what I believe is that those people in Brazil or whatnot, or South America, were absolutely in relationship with these beings, and these beings understand chemistry. That's what I believe. And so they were told that the plant, if you mix these two together, you're going to get this kind of an effect. So, but those people, I believe, were in relationship with those beings. And so, you see what I'm saying?
I agree.
But then what happens with Americans is Americans don't have true, genuine, deep-rooted spirituality. So, because we're postmodernists and we're so educated beyond our intelligence, and we don't believe in any of that dumb shit anymore, blah, 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 right? And so that leaves you with a gap, because we are inherently spiritual beings. It leaves a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. They're going to fill it with something. So now I want this transcendent experience. I've been raised in this ridiculous hellscape of secularism and, godless people telling you, that all the order that you see, they're gaslighting you into believing that the shit you see is not what you see. So now you have a lot of Western people with this ever expanding emptiness, that terrifies them in the quiet.
Yeah.
So I need to get something that's going to get me out of here and into another realm, and maybe I can see things differently. And all these people on TV are having these, quote, breakthrough sessions. So I want to have this breakthrough thing so that I can have a theory of everything, so I can have some peace, blah, 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 blah. But I don't want the actual wrestling and striving with God. You know what that shit is.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are rewarding payoffs to that, to wrestling with God. There are moments when you get really rewarded with crazy spiritual experiences or crazy answers to prayer or whatever.
Yeah.
But that comes after a lot of struggle.
Yeah. I mean, this is in relationships. I think the same is true. Like, obviously the relationship that you have with God or with a higher being is also, it's a relationship. But like, even in just like your regular relationships, like you said, like people that just go have sex right off, or in a relationship when there's been some struggle and you have to fight through things, you have to work through things, and then you make it to the other side of things, and the experience that you have together in intimacy when you're on the other side of those things is more. So
100%.
It's the same thing. Like, if you're just going to jump over there and take some drink and throw up and then get these experiences, or you're going to strive and you're going to try, and like the Bible talks about, like, you want to find God, you search for him like you're searching for hidden treasure. And you saw how those people were when they thought that there was gold, the gold out west. Like, nothing stopped these people. They dragged their families, they went over there, like, and they dug and wasted their lives away, some of them, and never found what they were looking for. Yeah. But that's what you do when you really want something. And like that's the same thing. Like, they have like this passive need or desire for God. It's that they're, something in their life is really shitty, and they're like, well, maybe God would fix that. So like, they basically want God to be like their little slave. Like, you come in and fix this for me, instead of saying, you know what, there's a divine being out there, and he created all of this, and he wants to know you. And when he made you, he said, you're so important and you're so special that you're going to show the world something about me that they don't already know. And so each of us hold this treasure inside of us. And so we have a tiny little treasure in us, and he's like, search for the biggest treasure, which is he himself. And so I think that's the big thing. Like, it's always we're always trying to find shortcuts. And I think it's even more difficult as Americans, because we have a lot of shortcuts. We have a microwave. We're conditioned. Everything is fast.
We're conditioned that the shortcut is the best possible solution. That's how we're conditioned as Americans.
Yes. And we're ungrateful about the shortcuts that we have. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, it's, we were just watching that whole Lex Friedman thing with, what's it, Zuckerberg? The latest Lex Friedman show is, they did it in the...
Yeah, oh, right, yeah.
I don't know what you call it.
They had, like, these VR
what
things.
Is it, multiverse? What is it?
Mixed reality.
Mixed reality. You get the virtual reality headset, but like, it was crazy because they were hundreds of miles apart, and there's Lex kind of floating in the black ether, and they're like next to each other, but they're it's like mind-blowing shit. Like, we're coming into another age. Go ahead.
I thought that they were in the same room testing
No,
it.
hey, Tina Patch, we're just talking about
Hey!
it. No. They were hundreds of miles away from each other. And it looked like they were literally in the same room.
It did. I thought that they were in the same. I thought that they were in the same room, but then they put the VR so they could tell.
Yeah. It was incredible to watch it happen. And Johan was like, "Yo, like, this is gonna change the world." And like 2 seconds later, Lex was like, "Yo, this is gonna change the world."
Yeah.
Like, it was incredible to look at. The first time Zuckerberg introduced that whole Facebook thing with the metaverse or whatever, it was like cartoony and silly, and people were like, nah. And then
right, yeah, and a lot of times, like, people's eyes and stuff look freaking scary.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna put that mask on and have your scary eyes looking at me like that picture you sent me.
Yeah.
But
it's
this
just
is really funny too, because
I'm trying to get a screen clip of the video.
Yeah, Lex Friedman, if you've ever watched his stuff, like, the man, this is so bad. The man is like expressionless, like a woman that's had too much work done on her face. Like, it's just, there's no like facial reactions that happen. It's so weird. And like, he's like, he just talks like this. But it was funny because when he did this VR thing, he realized like how he has to get more like expression on his face.
Well, he said like, this has been the most demonstrative I've ever. He was blown away. He really, really loved what they were doing. He was blown away. But like, they're hundreds of miles away from each other, and here we go. I mean, it looked just like that. It's unbelievable. But the point is, for me, the song is about like trying to figure out, like, philosophically where this guy lands on stuff. Because on the one hand, you're indoctrinated with this kind of doctrine from the secularists in the public school system, but on the other hand, all of us are now feeling this gaping hole in our souls, trying to figure it out. And now you've got everything on the planet. You got this, you got that, you got virtual, you got this. And there's so many things you can get caught up in that are not really centering you and giving you that peace. And that's where I think, the sort of slingshot reaction now, where you've got all these modern people who are now, back in the day it was like, why are you listening to stuff from people from all, old people been dead for me. But now it's like when you hear Joe Rogan and all the rest of it, now people are talking about going back to the ancient wisdom now. Mm-hmm. Now it's ancient wisdom. Before it was like dumb, superstitious, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But now that the white folk, mostly white folks in the mostly white lab coats tell us that, now you're allowed to believe in aliens. Now you're allowed to believe that there can be human entities that are intelligent, that can communicate telepathically, and some of them are malevolent, and some of them are benevolent, and sometimes some are protecting us, and some are attacking us, and sometimes they fight each other because of those reasons, blah, 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 blah. That kind of sounds like a certain kind of template, but now I got people at the highest levels of intelligence in the U.S. government and the DOD saying that under oath. So now we're allowed to believe in those beings. So now that you're allowed to believe that there are beings that are intelligent, that can communicate, I'm not saying that proves anything. What I'm saying is now you're allowed, as an American, to countenance those thoughts. Because before, you were not allowed to countenance those thoughts. Otherwise, you'd be called an idiot, a moron. They'd make fun of you, whatever.
Send you to the insane asylum.
Well, I'm not sending you to the insane asylum for believing in God.
Oh, I thought you were talking about still the
No, I'm not talking about UFOs. I'm just saying, I'm saying the template that's being talked about. I mean, like I said, I listen to Joe Rogan. He was with the Justin dude. Like, I would rank this guy in the top 5. Like when David Grush was doing his disclosure thing, the Justin dude was literally like sitting behind him. Like you can see it on camera. Oh, wow. Like that's how high up this guy is. Oh, wow. And this guy said, I got to show it to you because I told you about it, but I never showed you the clip. He literally said, well, there's a theory that they're going after our souls, that something about our souls does something for them. Yeah. And Rogan's like, yeah, I think that too. Like, and of course they're thinking about it in the sense of, the energy generated by is what they're feeding on, and maybe that's what's propelling. Like the craziest idea. It's like, okay, Joe, you're talking about superhuman, non-human intelligences that can communicate telepathically, that are interested in human souls. What is that? What is it? Is anybody, are all our leftists or whatever secular friends saying Joe Rogan's crazy, all the rest of it?
Yeah.
Is it all Christians that are patronizing the Joe Rogan show? Like, now we're allowed to believe in all these categories. We're just going to call the nomenclature something different. So this guy, I think that this song represents what a lot of secular humanists, atheists, whatever, are going to have to deal with. Because they're going to have to abandon the current template. Because it just does not work. With the local realism stuff and the UFO stuff, it just doesn't work.
Y'all have been raving us about.
They're gonna have to go somewhere.
Yeah, people have been saying, "Give us the proof. Give us the proof." Now science is giving you some proof that the way that you've been thinking is not the way that it is. So now you gotta adjust.
Sadakt, correct.
We don't have to. It kind of fits right in with what we've been saying. So.
Obviously, Sadie, you were ahead of the curve. Video game control. If there was a face down tantrum between rage quit. I would rage quit. I'll tell you what. If you ever beat me in anything video game related, Tina, I would absolutely rage. I probably wouldn't talk to you for a year if you beat me in Madden.
For a year?
I'd really be angry. You know what happened?
Sore loser.
You know what happened?
What?
I would either never talk to her, or I would force her to play me right then and there again. I'd say, run it back.
Why is winning so important?
I don't know. I hate having losses like that on my record. I don't like losing anything. Anything. Like tic-tac-toe. I was playing tic-tac-toe with Sayla a couple of years ago, I remember. And I remember, like, I beat her the second game, third game I lost. And then I sat there and I'm like, I gotta figure out. And then, like, are you serious?
This is a child.
This is a child. This is tic-tac-toe.
Sometimes I'll see Vinny playing, like, Madden or something with the kids, and like he'll destroy them sometimes, and like white parenting is not like that. White parenting is like the parent will lose by just a small margin and be like, good job, look how good you are, Johnny, good job. But
shit don't make no sense. Then you lose.
And look at his face, it's like literally like that. It's the funniest thing to behold.
9.7 for me.
9.5 for me.
That was DJ Ben Bear. Thank you
Yes.
so much, DJ Ben. 3.5 hours, guys.
Yeah,
you guys
we got a traditional stream. Sorry, we went a little bit longer than
a little,
the plan.
a little long form, more than normal, but it is what it is. Much love to all you beautiful people. We got another stream coming up tomorrow. It is Applejack's birthday.
Oh.
I'll fill you in on those details, sorry, because he's just now finding out. Shout out to Perkinaw. Shout out to Sadie the Pagan.
All right, you guys. We'll check you out tomorrow, I guess.
Shout out to Ben with a killer stream for show. Really good songs, man. This was a real good showing of black metal as far as like the different kind of iterations of black metal, how it could be done. You had like the first, second wave type black metal at the beginning. You had the
something for everybody. Bring me that little guy.
The thrash into black, the thrash in black with the Blackbraid band. You had, I mean, very, very, very cool genre, man. I'm still not particularly sure as to what it actually means, but it's a very, very cool genre.
Thank you, Matthew. We will.
All
you
right,
guys have a good night.
Much love to Tina.
We'll catch you on the other side.
We will catch you on the other side, dear.